more bad government in Nigeria. I don't want the only media have been that.
All right, that is international media right there, re-reporting. I would say re-reporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu's credentials. But my concern, my take on this particular one is that what impact this whole news going to have on Nigeria or Nigerian people? Because we don't have pass through all this. I remember when all these were going on during the time we were all in court challenging the INEC decision, declaring Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the president, the winner of the 2023 general election. But at the end of the day, our court thrown everything out. So my concern now is that this continuous re-reporting news about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what impact? What's going to happen then? I don't know. So I think all these are currently inconsequential. You know why I have to say it's inconsequential? One, Nigerians are docile. Then our judiciary will never act otherwise. Then our EFCC will not also act otherwise. So what's the need of the reporting? The report that we just played? It's a question I'm asking though, because for me, I see it as inconsequential. Because there's no impact that ever going to come out from that. There's no thing that will ever come out of that. And there's nobody in terms of our agency that will react to that. So what is the need of that video? For me, is it consequential? But I'd like us to move on. But meanwhile, let's listen to Doyin Okokbe on what you have to say here.
The conditions they gave were not too favorable, and many were not, directly very forthcoming. In all honesty, the party that gave us the most favorable conditionality and support, and were not, really looking for anything, was the Labour Party. Abure and his gang. I will commend, when people do things that are good, we should commend them. Abure and one Ojukwu, who was the national organizing secretary, they, for whatever reason, they did not demand money from us. They gave us accommodation. They even said, if we wanted anything or changes in the ESCO and all that, we should discuss with them. We told them, just hold on to your ESCO, no problem. Let us work together. So we went to Asaba and had the convention, and Obi was nominated. So that was how we started the journey. The journey between Peter Obi and I was based on our repulsion for a northern candidate to succeed Buhari. We wanted a southern candidate in our party, and our party was not going to pick a southern candidate, so we left it. But our union, our cooperation, the basis of our political association between Obi and I was that we will fight for a southern candidate, which in this case was him. So we went for the election, and we lost the election. People say I should not say we lost. We lost. They said APC rigged. Look, if you say APC rigged, which party did not rig? Which election had not been rigged since 1999? I'm a practitioner. I took part in all elections in 1998. In Nigeria, from 1998 to date, were rigged. Was Tinubu the one conducting them, or was Tinubu the one contesting at that time? It's not true. So we have a bad system. Let us agree, and we must look at it properly and reform it for our own good. So that it's not judges that will be determining who the governor of the state will be, who the president of the country will be. Look at the election that we held in America. Nobody went to court. It has been held in UK. Nobody went to court. It has been held in there's no need to go to court if the elections are transparent and flawless. You understand my point? So as far as I'm concerned, to say that because the election was flawed, then nobody won. It's not true. I was the Director General of the Labour campaign organization, President campaign organization. We ran, a most fantastic campaign. You know it yourself. Yes, sir. We did a lot of mobilization, but we had our flaws. We had shortcomings. The party was, grossly and inadequately arranged to cover a national election. We didn't have what it took. The structure that covers the country was not there. We didn't have it. We didn't have polling agents in more than 80% of the polling booths in the country. How can you win the election? How? Even if you won, if you are not there, they will change it. As long as there are not the agents and the presiding officers are not angels, they will change it. And I've said it before, in any country where illiteracy is preponderant and poverty is rife, you can't have democracy. You can't have true democracy.
All right. What Odoyin Okogbe is saying there is supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu that he won the 2023 general election, that Peter Obi was not properly prepared. So their incompetence in terms of preparation was very, very alarming. So, and although I disagree with him, I also agree with him. I disagree with him when he said Bola Ahmed Tinubu won the election in 2023. Then I agree with him when he said, the polling unit agents, were not there on the polling unit cycles. So remember, if you follow us from that particular time, I query this area, that yes, we were not having lots of polling unit agents across the polling unit centers. Yes, we were not. So what he's saying now, the reason why I'm agreeing with him, he mentioned something which is realistic. He said, if you are not there, they will change the result. What else do you expect? I agree with him on that 100%. Because when your polling unit agent is not there, although I know some of us will argue by saying, okay, what about the center where there were polling unit agents? So what happened? Yes. Even in those centers, they still ring the election there. They still change the results. But above all, polling unit agent or no polling unit agent, INEC did not rely on the result that was coming directly from the polling unit agent. They already know what they wanted to do, and they did it. And this is where we are today. But unfortunately, see, Odoyin Okogbe, the DG for Peter Obi 2023 general election, is not speaking like this. My question is, what happened? What have changed? And people, now so we see them, as we see how they call it, give that like that, because sometimes the whole thing, they choke us. Madam Rita, we can see you just coming in. Thank you very much, man, for joining us. Good evening to you. Mr. Johnson Emmanuel, thank you, sir. Timmy DB, I appreciate all my people. Thank you very much for your time with us. Peggy Body, thank you, my people. Didi Anthony, thank you very much for the super chat. I'm very, very grateful. God bless you. God bless every one of you right there. Please do your part. LSM Gedo, I can see you as well. Do your part by pressing on the like button. Help us to share. Take our voices far. But meanwhile, I will post out a link shortly, but I'm going to divert right away. Oh, well, hold on. I'm not sure. No, not yet. Let me use this one to close the political and the religious path of this presentation.
Delusional to think that these people do not know that these prayers and fasting absolutely do nothing to improve Nigeria's trajectory. Yet every new year, we start with these prayers for a better Nigeria. So I'm asking this morning, what more do you want God to do for Nigeria? Because if nations across the world were to argue as to who is God's favorite child, Nigeria will undoubtedly be seen as one of God's favorite children. God gave Nigeria everything, way more natural and human resources than most countries on earth. arable land, no natural disasters, fantastic weather for agriculture, some of the most brilliant minds on earth, a people with the skills to thrive in any part of the world that we have found. God didn't fail Nigeria one bit. Nigerians failed Nigeria. God gave this nation fertile soil, rivers that flow like veins through the heart of the nation. Nigeria is not lacking in blessings that we need to pray for. It is instead drowning in gross mismanagement. So again, what more do you want God to do for Nigeria as you fast for 100 days? What more is God meant to do for our country? To choose your leaders for you? To help you jail your corrupt politicians? To help you properly utilize all the vast resources that he has already blessed us with? There's almost no nation on the continent that should have been at par with Nigeria in development and quality of life for its citizens. If you think about just the wealth we should have from oil alone, take a look at what other countries have done with their own oil wealth. Think of what the Niger Delta alone could look like if we managed our resources better. So stop praying to God to bless Nigeria. He's already blessed us beyond what we could ever imagine. And again, when you are calling on God to save Nigeria, what exactly do you want him to do? God is not going to run your elections for you. He's not going to run your justice system for you. He will not create a better constitution for Nigeria. All of those things were left for you to handle as Nigerians, the best that you could. But instead, we've allowed the worst to rule over us. We've placed tribe and religion over prosperity as a nation. We've allowed the destruction of our institutions by our fellow citizens. God didn't abandon Nigeria. Nigerians instead have laid our bed this way, and so we must lay on it. Your National Assembly members are singing on your mandate, we shall stand. One state governor cannot read his own budget figures. One state governor paid his children's school fees till graduation and is currently being welcomed home like a hero. Where do you want God to step in here? If your governor can't read his own budget figures, what do you want God to do in a situation like that? Again, we have laid our bed. Let us lie on it. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right, guys. This is the second time we're playing this video. Remember, we played this particular video, I think, like a week ago, and we're playing it again now. Just to remind and refresh the mind of the Nigerian people, you know, because a lot of us are very, very gullible when it comes to religionism. But what do I know? We normally put it to you how we take CM, and so they carry and they come here. I appreciate you all, my people. Thank you very much for your time with us. We are going to divert right now. I posted out a link for those of you that want to contribute to either politics or what I'm going to be presenting right now. We take it from there. Then we have two videos that is currently trending right now on social media. One is coming from one of our brother. His name is called Gege, and another one is coming from a doctor from Canada. But I'd like to start with a doctor from Canada first. You know, he was actually talking to our Igbo brothers and sisters, you know, who normally live and go build a mansion in their village. Although he's also from the southeast, you know, so that's the beauty of this particular video, you know, because if not, people might say, oh, what are you talking about? What do you know about us and all that? But still, what can you take from this particular video that I'm going to play right now? Let's listen to this.
People, Dr. Zay again. It's a bit early in Canada, it's almost 8 o'clock. Before I took off, I said, let me just make this video. Obviously, I'm Igbo. I'm from the eastern part of the country. And what I'm about to say is, you know, anything I say these days just goes everywhere. Sometimes it's a bit controversial, but I always say from the mind and I always say the truth. There's this thing we have in the East that we must build big mansions in the village. You know, for you to be an Odogu, you have to build a very big house. Believe me, I did it too. But, you know, this last Christmas, I didn't go, but I watched a lot of people that go home, open their mighty big mansions in the village, in the East especially. I don't think the other part of the country have this concept. So, as I said, I did it. And my own was even painstaking because my dad passed. I started building the house before he passed, but I had to finish it. And believe it or not, because I'm the first son, he was alive, he insisted that I have to build it in the same compound. So I took a couple of steps around and built another mansion. Everywhere squashed up. I haven't been there in almost, I built it about 5 years ago, and the total number of days I spent in that house is not up to 6 weeks or 2 months. In 5 years, I'm telling you. I spent a lot of money to build a house in the village because my father was a traditional chief. So for you to take over the title, you have to have your own house as an adult. It's just what we have in the mind. Sometimes I wonder, the Igbos claim that we're very smart in terms of economy and, money thing. But sometimes I wonder the economic value. If I built that house somewhere else, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, elsewhere, even Enugu, I would have made over 100 million in that last 5 years. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not saying you shouldn't build a house in the village. What I'm telling you is what I advise my younger ones. I'm much older than them, and I tell them, go to the village, just build small house, 3-4 bedroom, have a big compound in case you want to do something in the future. Like, it's always good to have something in the village, but you don't have to build these mansions like the way we did. We occupy everywhere with houses. It's rubbish. And I'm telling you, what I'm saying to you, I did it. My father did it. My father's friends did it. And their kids are struggling today to maintain those houses. I am spending a lot of money to maintain the house I haven't been in over almost getting to 4 years because of things going on in the East, insecurity and stuff. So what economic value is? I see young boys, and I said, let me just speak from my mind, and I'll tell you guys, wrong move, man. Wrong move. What I'm telling you now, what I'm saying today, you'll realize it in 25 years, my friend. 25 years. Absolutely no need for those houses that big. Get a big compound, small house, 3-4 bedroom maximum. And, once in a while, go home. You're still an Odogu, it doesn't matter. But use that money and put it in other better locations. I'll give you money. As I said, if I use that money elsewhere, Abuja and all that, I would have made money that would build that house probably 2 times over in the last 5 years. I'm telling you that. It's a wrong move. I said I did it. And I'm going to say it to you for free. Sometimes even it becomes a problem for your kids. They will start fighting. What I'm saying to you, I've seen it. I've seen it. My father's friends. They'll start fighting over those big mansions. There's no need for it. Maintain small house in the village, big compound. That's my advice. That's Dr. Zo's advice. And this is coming from a mistake that I made, and a mistake I feel my father made too, and my father's friends. They were Odogus at their time. Think about it. I think, in conclusion, a village mansion is a waste of time and a waste of money. Dr. Zo, again, from Canada.
All right. On this one, people reacted to it from his own page, but I only brought just one reaction, which I would like to take quickly before I divert. Although I'll take reactions from our own, I can see 1 or 2 persons already commented concerning this particular video. But you can see right there from Prince Chidi, say, Augusta, thank you for your advice, but none of the Igbo will ever take your advice. This is because building a befitting house in our villages is our culture and heritage. Any Igbo man who can build mansion in the villages has already built double of it in the cities and has made excess money. Building much mansion is another way of developing our village into becoming a city. Augusta, your advice is completely irrelevant and does not make any valid point. Why is the in the white man land? Now, so it's the right time. Why is the in the white man land where he lives? There's no place that looks like a village. How does development come to place if there are not good structures? For me, this man is completely talking no sense. I know what talking about is supposed to be, but still, because of the YouTube. But so that person right there, Prince Chidi, completely disagreed with this, our Dr. Zo. Moderator, thank you very much, man. I can see you already. Thank you. Then Mr. Johnson Emmanuel is saying, Mr. Johnson Emmanuel, where your comment again now? I hope I never lose them. Because I see your comment just now, but I don't see him again. I know you left a comment just now, but I lost it. Okay, yes, you said if they can afford it, there's nothing wrong. They know what they are doing. They already have their businesses. Okay. Thank you, Enterprises, for joining us today, sir. I appreciate you. Ajio Deborah, God bless you. Good to hear from you. I appreciate you. And OS, are you guys responding to this, or I should just move on? Okay, Timmy DB said, I disagree with Prince Chidi. That means you agree with Dr. Zoe, right? If you disagree with Prince Chidi, you agree with the doctor. Okay. Okay, Mr. Johnson Manuel is saying, I love the way Igbos develop their villages. It is a very good thing. Okay. Okay, Ajio Deborah said, I honestly have to come in because of this man advice. You will see very big mansion with 18 rooms and nobody is living there. That's crazy. I feel it is a waste of money. Okay. Then Timmy DB said, I agree with the doctor. Okay. All right. I would like to quickly say this. For me, according to Prince Chidi, I can't say I agree with him, but if he said it's a way to develop their own village to become a city, then I agree with him. Due to what has been going on, pursuing the Igbos left to right, go back to your place, go back to your place. On that, I will agree with them. Building mansions in their city. But Dr. Zoe said, all the buildings you're building in your villages, you don't get the money back. On that, I agree. For example, in my own state, Edo State, you know, all the investment you invest in Edo State, you don't get the money back. You know, some people said, oh, maybe the area where you build put nine matter. You know, so some of us have to now go extreme to go and build in a premium area, where it be premium? You know, premium area for those things now, number one is GROA, Sapler Road, and Airport Road, then followed by K1 Road, right? Yeah, that's it. So in all this, it's still like you don't get the money back compared to building in already profitable cities. Although you might argue with me that, oh, if you invest in your city, one day it will grow. If that one day, what about me don't old? So what happened to my investment? Although some of us that invested is still there, that's fine. But on that, I agree with Dr. Zoe on that. But in terms of the way they're pursuing hating the Igbos, pursuing their left to right, and they decided to build their own cities, there's nothing wrong about that. Because nobody will come pursue them for their own land. So I'll leave that one right there. But still, we have our brother Gege, who they talk say marriage is a scam. That nobody should marry anymore. He talk for this video, not be small. The video don't go viral everywhere. He talk go left, he talk go right. Because they make I play this video. Make una still tell us what you want to take or think concerning this video. Let's take it from here.
Is the new way to go. Baby mama is the new way to go. Marriage is old-fashioned. Don't get married. If you care about your future, you care about your finances, don't get married. Women, they use marriage as a tool to destroy men. It don't happen. I don't know.
Okay, this boy, a lot of people take him serious, while some don't also take him serious. But I'm surprised why this video went circulating everywhere, where the man is coming out to give some references and telling people not to ever get married again, that we should take women as a baby mama and all that, blah, 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 blah. For me, I get take on this one because the thing shocked me seeing this kind of video. But still, I would like to hear from people what people want to say concerning this particular video. But meanwhile, I'd like to start with calls because I can see people calling in right now. Madam Deborah, thank you very much for calling in. Oh, we lost you there. In case you want to call back, you can quickly call back. I think it's too early for me to be redialing anybody right now. Okay, you're calling back. Thank you very much, Madam Deborah. Good evening to you, man. Please talk to us.
Hello.
Thank you, man. Good evening to you. Talk to us.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Elvis. Good evening to everyone, our viewers and commenters all over the world. Just a quick contribution to your broadcast.
Thank you.
I want to first of all start from the last video that you just presented about the guy that is making a generalized, giving a generalized advice about marriage. I think that's something very, very wrong to do. You cannot just, because of one or two experience, or maybe a handful of experience, use it to generalize that's what happened in every marriage. I think that's very, very dangerous to make, because what he's trying to analyze happened in both ways. He's just talking about the experiences of women, but he's not looking at it happens in both men and women. There are equally women that have made sacrifices for men, that have labored with the men when they had nothing. A good example of the one that just happened that we all witnessed is Yolidoche and his wife. We saw how they all started, and what happened when he had money. He left the woman that had been with him for 17 years and went to marry another woman. So there are many that happen like that. The same thing, women do it as well. So when you're talking into issues like that, I think people should be very, very careful about trying to stereotype or generalize a particular problem. As far as I'm concerned, it happened in both ways. Just like there are bad women, the same way there are bad men. And in the same sense, there are good women and there are good men. So people like that guy should be very careful when you're coming out to just make a blanket criticism and just stereotype all women and to be bad, and you're ignoring the fact that this same thing, men as well do it. So I think you should be careful, and people should be careful listening to such advices, because it happened in both ways. Then let me quickly say something about the man who came to advise Igbos building mansions in their village. I think this is something that happened after the Civil War. I think after the Civil War, a lot of Igbos in the past, they used to build houses wherever they are in the north, anywhere they settle, they build houses there. But I think after the Civil War, what happened was that a lot of them lost properties. A lot of people took over their houses that they built in other people's states. And I think that is after that experience that they all started building houses in their village. And to me, it makes sense. People might disagree, but if you look at the situation of Nigeria, the way Nigeria is being run at the moment, anything can happen in Nigeria tomorrow. Look at just what happened in Lagos recently. How they say go back to your state, demolishing people's houses. Nigeria can break up tomorrow, and the North will say, oh, Abuja belongs to them. And they will chase away any other person from Abuja. Yoruba people can wake up tomorrow and say Lagos is their own. And they will chase away people who have built properties, people who have been there for years. So anybody really looking at the situation of Nigeria, I think people should think twice when they are investing in other states, because the way Nigeria is run, nobody can guarantee anything, especially when we don't even have a functional judiciary. We don't have a government that is actually functioning as it should be. So that's my own take on that. Then a quick contribution to what Sowore said. In my own opinion, Sowore, I think he needs to sit down and really re-strategize his approach. It's okay that he's criticizing the Tinubu government, but of what impact is his criticism really going to make? What difference is that going to make? Yes, he has a voice, but like Black Panther said the other time, I think he has to collaborate, work with other people to form a stronger opposition. That's when the impact will be felt. But just making a simple criticism is not really going to change anything. So I really hope that if he's listening or anybody close to him should advise him, but I don't know if he's going to listen. Otherwise, his impact is not, whatever he's doing is not going to yield any impact. Then let me quickly say something about that. I think the Supreme Court judge that I came out to speak. You see, sadly, he's coming out to speak now because he's leaving. But he saw all those problems there. And what did he do to change the situation? And this is the problem. You see, when things are happening, people don't say anything until when the damage has been done. And he's talking about the Southeast not having any representation in the Supreme Court. But that same Southeast, we have senators, we have all sort of lawmakers and everybody in the House. But they are not speaking out. They are not saying anything. They are just there for their own personal interest. They are not really fighting for their own region or speaking out for their own people. So at the end of the day, this whole injustice is going to continue because the Southeast, I think they have senators as well. They have lawmakers and they have people in all, they have governors and they have people that are speaking for them. But what are they doing? They're doing nothing. So that is what I have to say. Then finally, regarding doing Okupe or I don't know what his other surname is. I heard what he's saying, but I'm just disappointed that if you actually have principles and you believe in what you're doing, he made a lot of complaint about what went wrong in the last election. But the question is, what are we going to do to prevent those things from happening? If nothing is going to change, then the same thing is going to continue, you know. So sadly, that is that. Regarding Tinubu's corruption, like you rightly said, Mr. Elvis, it's a waste of time. Even if they say Nigeria is number one, even if they say Tinubu is number one corrupt president in the entire world, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to happen. So like you said, it's not going to yield any change because they know already. Before you know now, they will still come and defend him. They will still come and say, oh, why are they criticizing him? You're going to see people that will come out to defend what has just been said. Sadly, that's the situation that we are. So nothing is going to change except something drastic really happen that is going to change the trajectory, the way Nigeria is going.
Thank you.
Obviously, there's nothing like that is happening at the moment. So that is that. Thank you so much, Mr. Elvis.
Thank you, man. God bless you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, let me take some calls here. Good evening to you. Your name and where you calling us from? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please talk to us.
Not longer. As for Gigi Waga for data, you got a laugh and laugh. That guy is a get with it. But I don't follow him out to now content creator. Now, what is your down a small boy and a small beginner? Which way is all you get? Never saw before you had a guy that knows what they talk. Now, for their own tradition, now they talk all this way they talk about. So, nothing for data, for somebody to play for data state. Now, woman, they work hard. Man with the control. They want to bring that life, come for this new modern life we do now for the world. It's not possible now. You don't make her now. You don't want to take care of woman spending money. You want woman going to take care of her. Creating my way in be. That's for that. For me, I don't take within the dog. If anybody take her serious for content creation, the person that will lose a family, lose all those things where they talk about for them. And they get me now,
Yes, sir.
That is gay, now small boy. You want to control like for Nigeria. No, it don't work. And that one, I wouldn't just live now they talk about. You don't get money, I don't want to take care of responsibility. You don't want to stand as a man to take care of family. They want the bond it away. As all those data, some other data men they do, they born near for outside. I can say talk for their family, three wife. You know, see also. So now see him be. So thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, I would like to take another call quickly. We have and the love of God is my strength with us. Thank you very much, ma'am. Good evening to you. Please talk to us.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Talk to us.
Good
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening. Happy Sunday to you.
Thank you.
Good evening to everyone on the Nigeria Watch today. All the comments, everyone on the comment section. I want to say happy Sunday to all of you, Mommy Diaspora, our listener, everyone on the panel. I say good Sunday and happy Sunday to every one of us. Nigeria Watch, I will first of all go to that marriage of a thing that man spoke about. You know, that I always see that man on Facebook. I've never taken him serious. I don't look at him as a serious person. He cannot tell other people what he sees about marriage. What he sees about marriage is for himself. It's not for us. Everybody can see their marriage in their own eyes. He cannot come out and start talking blah, blah, blah because he wants to talk. If he does not want to marry, that's okay by him. He's going to the Stone Age to go and bring the law of marriage to us in this 25th century that we are now telling men that they should not marry. Women should pay for men. Women should look after men. Who is in to tell other people how they run their marriage? I've seen him, he talks anyhow. He just open his mouth and start to talk. You cannot tell another man how to marry a woman. You cannot tell another woman how to treat their husband by the men that are living women. He's not talking about women living men, not about the men who women will suffer with. Women will suffer with them, and they will leave the women and go away. What do you want the women to do? You are talking about the Syrian man that the wife wants to divorce him. Do you know what is happening inside their marriage? Are you there inside the marriage with them? You call them May Edoche. Sorry, I'm calling her name. I'm really sorry. You're talking about her. You know what happened? Did everybody see what happened on the internet? He just open his mouth and be talking anyhow. Women are supposed to be respected in their marriage. Women are not, it's not easy for a woman to be in a marriage. What women see in marriage is not easy. We're going to come out and put women down like this. I'm really, I don't know him. I'm really angry with him. It's not right. Women are not toys that they can come out and be throwing all apart like that. It is wrong. I want to talk about the APC man that came outside and started talking the way he wants to talk. He's saying to us that Obi is too sentimental to what happened to him. What Obi is going through. If we turn back the hand of God and comes to him, will he be able to stand it? Will he be able to stand it? He's saying that Obi is sentimental because of that word. Who are they going to tell that word that will not come out and complain? Obi only came out once because of that word. You know what Obi is going through at the back? You know what the children have been all over, they have been terrorized. So for that man to be talking like that, I'm disappointed. I don't want to use this word because I know that we have some great Yoruba men on this panel. Some of these Yoruba people, I don't know. Maybe they are claiming this Emiloko. This Emiloko has become a thing that they don't. When they see through, they will close it down. They will not want to say it. It is so wrong. And Tinubu becoming number 5. As the corrupt president all over the world. I'm sorry to say that there's a rigging in that thing. The rigging that for them to put Tinubu at number 5. I don't see how that happened. Tinubu should be taking the number 1 position. Tinubu should not be number 5. So maybe there's a rigging in that calculation. Please, they could go back and go and look at it where Tinubu in 4th position. How can you put Kenya president at the front of Tinubu? That calculation is wrong. Something is wrong with it. America has entered it because they are trying to clean Tinubu character. So the person that did that how would I call it? A draw or something like they did, it is wrong. Please, Tinubu to be number one. It deserves to be number one. Doyi, I can see why you are talking like this. Doyi, let them call your name. I can see why you are talking like this. Even you are looking at your physique, there's something wrong. You need money to pay for your hospital bill. So you can come out and open your mouth and talk as you want. I just pray for you that God will give you long life. The way I'm looking at you, you need to be in a place of prayer. You need it very well. You are not looking good at all. I leave it there. The man talking about people building the house in their place. Yes, that doctor is a very good, great man who talks very well. And maybe this one that he said, I won't support him. Because what the Igbos are experiencing in Nigeria, I will not encourage them to build up any other place. They should build in their village. The way Nigeria is going out there, Sister Deborah said, and I want to say, Sister Deborah, thank you for all you said. I really, really appreciate it. Beautiful. The analysis you came to us today. Very beautiful. We cannot, people cannot sleep in the other people's land.
Thank you.
People build out everywhere. Please, Igbo people, build your house in your village. I leave that. I go to fasting. Fasting cannot change the hand of God. Pastor Adeboye, that is coming out to tell Nigeria to fast. After you have collected money from the government, you now tell us to come and fast. The fasting is God, when God gives you fasting. But Pastor Adeboye, do the fasting yourself. I'm not going to fast to tell my father that I have to hungry before he can do something for me. You people are spoiling Nigeria, and you are looking for people to put in hungry. People that have not seen food to eat. You are telling them to fast. How are they going to fast? How are they going to break it? Pastor Adeboye, all of you that have taken from the politician, you people to fast and change that country yourself. Thank you, like I want to bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, man. God bless you too. Thank you. All right. I'll come back to callers probably later on. I think I need to move on to panelists right now. Remember, we work with time now, and it's Sunday as well. I don't want us to sleep here today. But meanwhile, let me quickly move to the panelists. Thank you very much, everyone, right there. Guys, help us to press on the like button, help us to share, press on the dollar sign, encourage our work here as well. I really do appreciate that. But I'd like to start with Madarita right now. Madarita, thank you very much for being the first for the past couple of days. I'm very, very grateful for this. At least give me the belief that somebody is here with me. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'd like you to talk to us. What's your take on all that we've presented? Because it's just three of you. The first three people that we have here, I'll give you all 15 minutes to speak. And anybody that come in after this now will be capped to 8 minutes. So we can take it from them. Madarita, you have 15 minutes to address all that.
15 minutes. Oh my goodness. Mr. Elvis, good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Is that Mr. Jonathan? Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. I think that's Madam Patricia. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday, my lovely mommy diaspora. I'm still the only one that loves you. Greetings to everybody. Deborah, Debbie, I'm very happy that you're here, and I know that you're getting better and you are going to be better. Greetings to Johnson Emmanuel, Madam Ame Bright, Grace Homes and Property, Christian Excel, everybody. Mr. Elvis, this 15 minutes, I will try as much as possible to, manage it. I think I came in when you were playing, I think you were playing Don Yokupe's video. That's when I came in. So, was it no, Don Yokupe's video. Yeah, I think that's the one I started with. Okay, I'm going to start from the end. This young man, whatever his name is, I don't want to mention his name because I've come to realize that.
Okay, CBD, I can see you already, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, CBD. Go ahead, Madam.
Social media has its pros and its cons. Yes, social media has its pros and its cons. And this is one of the cons of social media. And this young man who came out to talk about marriage and relationship, he just came to tell us why, social media can also be a deficit, to the sanity of a society. We should be very careful. I don't think a lot of people who make these skits or who want to get some sort of social media attention and, they just want to, get some sort of popularity or some sort, they don't realize that you need to be very careful. You need to be very careful. A man who is in his 20s, a young boy, it's not even a man yet, because real men don't talk like that. A young boy who thinks that because he has a phallus, he's above every other person, or that means you're created to be above women, or or something of that nature, or to be like a small god. Having a phallus doesn't mean you're a man. That just shows your biological direction or your biological identity. Let me put it that way. Yes. I will not take him serious, for one. And like I said earlier on, we need to be very careful with the kinds of things we put out there in the name of, I want attention on social media. I want to be popular, because you don't know what life will present to you. You're just in your 20s. You don't know what life will present to you. So you come out now because you think it's funny, or you think you've gotten the media attention you needed. You think that, maybe perhaps this is something, one of the ills of the society that you need to speak on, but you speak on it, based on your sheer ignorance. I'm trying to use nice words because this is Nigeria Watch. You need to be very careful. I don't take him seriously, and I would also want to add that, he's only somebody who is emotionally and mentally unstable will come out like that young boy to speak rubbish, about marriage, relationship, and how you deal with human beings. I'm just going to leave it out there. I'm not going to waste my 15 minutes on that recalcitrant child. Dr. Zoe, he said building, as an Igbo man, he said, why building mansions in the village is a total waste of money. But he also gave a solution too. He didn't say do not build a house in the village. He gave a solution. He said you can build a small house with a big compound. I support that. In fact, now, if I want to be, let's say, for example, now, I haven't built a house before and I want to build a personal house for myself, I prefer to build a very small house and a very big compound. Because that big compound, I'll be able to do a whole lot of things in that compound. There's enough space for my family to come, if they need to be entertained, or if, you can build temporary tents if you need to, if you want to do some sort of entertainment, but maintenance culture is even manageable. You can have your own vegetable farm. You can live, okay, and even if it's a bungalow, it's even better, because you think about old age, climbing stairs and all that, it has effects on your knees. And that's why I think many sensible people now, they're building houses. They don't want this, what Benin we call a gedege upstairs, because you're looking at the future. I have seen in so many houses, even in Edo State, where their parents build like upstairs and big houses. In the old age, the man ends up staying on the lower level until he passes on. Because they never ever thought that, they're not thinking futuristically. Let me just put it that way. The kind of futuristic thinking they're thinking is like, oh, this communal life in how they grew up. I'm looking at my father's generation, maybe the man from Bodlon, his generation too, how they grew up. They're communal. You have cousins, you have in-laws, you have, many children that live in that big compound, and you think your children are going to follow that same cycle of having to build a big house, in-laws and families, cousins come to stay. It's not happening now. Things have changed. The world has evolved. Many Nigerians have migrated outside Nigeria. Many Nigerians are having children who possibly would never visit Nigeria, who possibly would never live in Nigeria, and perhaps, possibly, the people who are building these houses might end up being buried abroad. So what is that investment doing for you now? He gave a solution. Build a small, manageable house in the village with a big compound, because we have the land, right? You have the land. And I've noticed something here too. I'm talking about, where I live, Canada. You see many people who are retired, they are buying condominiums now. Most of them, they've lived, they've worked, they've retired, their children are grown, their children have started their life. They can no longer maintain the big houses, or what, even if you want to call it a semi-detached house, or a big house anymore. Why? Because maintenance is hard. Sometimes they can't even afford it. Sometimes they prefer to just live in a condominium where they can just press the elevator. They're going to their apartment, they're fine. They don't have to worry about shoveling snow. They don't have to worry about paying for somebody who's going to work on their yard. They don't have to worry about so many things because they've done it all. That is what older people are doing here. They sell off their homes either to their children and they go buy condominiums. So they don't have to worry about other things. So they use most of their time to do other activities which they can afford to pay for other things, you know, and there's longevity with that. They don't feel too lonely living in a mansion when the children are gone. Children possibly will not even visit because they are either out of the country or they're living their lives or they're just busy doing what they're doing, you know, as young people. You know, and so most of these people living in mansions, they are lonely. And one of the factors in which people age quickly, and one of the factors that make people older seniors fall sick is loneliness. Loneliness. And in Nigeria today, a lot of aged people, seniors, are lonely. They're living in big mansions, empty, possibly living with rats and lizards and wall geckos. They're lonely. They can't even maintain it. Are they going to sweep the big compound? Even the children might not be successful enough to be painting the house every year. So see where Dr. Zoe is coming from? A lot of Nigerians are not in that reasoning faculty. And that's why people just don't understand what he's saying. I know Mr. Emmanuel in the comment section, I refer to, he said, you know, people that have money, they have the right to, you know, spend the money the way they like. Yes. But the fact that you have money doesn't mean that you shouldn't have sense. Especially when you're looking at the way the world is being projected right now. People now to have multiple children and multiple wives, it's not it's not a small feat these days. It's not. There's a senator in Nigeria, I don't want to mention his name. Yes, he has multiple children, multiple wives, but his relationship with all his children, is it at par? Because we've seen his son or his daughter come out to challenge the father. Is it at par? There's no time to even focus on the children, because you're busy marrying many more wives and getting, you know, this huge ego on your shoulder that you are the man, quote unquote. Like I said, having a phallus doesn't mean that that's qualified you to be like a great man. No. Or a great human being. Let me put it that way. I believe it's a man's world. Yes, everybody has their position. Everybody has their duties. Dr. Zoe, I support it. I support what Dr. Zoe is saying. I was telling you, I always said in this channel, I served in Abia State, right? And the village that I went to, I saw mansions, some of them uncompleted, mansions upon mansions, like it was like a competition in the village, in the sticks. Yes, some were uncompleted, and some were just there. And I can tell you today, many of the same Igbo people now who have built those mansions, they can't even go home now because there's insecurity in the East. Some are even doing their funeral, you know, reception outside their village, outside their state. Some are even doing it in Lagos. They're not even doing it in the East. This is where we are today. People are still holding that umbilical cord of the mentality of our parents. Perhaps that's the reason why we're not growing. Perhaps that's why our society is the way it is. They have villages in the West. I know there was a caller that called and said, in the villages or something about development villages in the West. They have villages in America, as in villages. But the good thing is that some of them are even off the grid, as in they're not even the grid of electricity. They're not even the grid of waste management. They do it themselves because they choose to live that life. However, they have access to good roads, and if they want to connect to the grid to get clean water, they can. Yes, they can. Electricity, yes, they can. That's all they need. They don't need much, because black people, if I don't want to use the word black people, Nigeria as it is today, people are just greedy. You know, people just want to be greedy and just want to get just because they want the society to put them at a certain pedestal so that they can look better. It's even a self-esteem thing. That's what I think. You know, building a big house, does that mean that you're a wealthy man? Building a mansion, does that mean that you are Odogu or what now? What does that mean? What does that mean? So it comes to self-reflection and also reflect on, what the world is turning out to be. Because take it or leave it, the Nigerians of the 60s, of the 50s, or even of the 90s is not the Nigeria of today. It is not, and it's still changing. I'm just using Nigeria now as a case study because of Dr. Zoe. Because if you want to use the international standard, in the 1960s, the world is not the way it is now. We see there's a lot of separation. Even Nigeria today, tribe is a big issue. Many people are now having second thoughts of, why should I build my house in Lagos? Because in 20, 30 years' time, when I'm too old to even fight, or when my children cannot even fight for themselves, the indigenes of that place will tell you that you are not a Yoruba person. You should not be in Lagos. It might come. Yes, it might come. Take it or leave it. It's not just the Igbos. It's not just the Igbo. So the world is changing. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's what Dr. Zoe is trying to say. He's trying to tell you, listen, think of your old age. Think of, expenditure. Think of investment. Investment. That is what he's pinpointing at. The big mansions that nobody lives in the village. Perhaps once or twice a year, you come there during the festive season. Okay, that period in which that place was empty, you left it for rats, lizard, wall gecko to be living there. And maybe one or two of your relatives come to check up on the house, and that's it. It's just standing there, an investment just sitting down. But that investment, you probably will have opened a very huge factory with that investment. And it will not just be stagnant. It will be working. It will be rolling out money. That is what he's saying. But Nigerians, as we are, we still want to hold on to the umbilical cord of what our parents were doing. Our prayer is that our children should do better than us. That is what I believe. Oh, hey, maybe some people believe differently. But the prayer of every parent that I know is that my children will be better than me. Better than me in thinking, better than me in making good choices, better than me in investing, better than me in evolving, better than me in how I look at the future. That is what every good parent should praise for their child. Not just be like me. No. Because if we're like our father, we will not have this internet today. If we're thinking in the 1900s, we would not have this internet today. That is the truth. That is the truth. So we have to evolve. Dr. Zoe is telling people this is what you should invest in. He's not saying do not build houses. Build a small house that is manageable with a big compound. It is okay. It is okay. In fact, Mr. Elvis, that this topic should be like a whole full days. 100 days of fasting. I don't want to listen. Your topic on the screen about what Sowore is saying. Please, Sowore, tell us something that is not different that we don't already know. That INEC is the one that announced Bola Ahmed, the man from Bodilon. Please, because I don't. Anyway, I don't want to talk about Sowore right now. It's really not important. Lastly, I don't know if my time is elapsing, Mr. Elvis. How much minutes do I have? It's 100 days in fasting. Nigeria should go on a 100-day fast. Pastor Adeboye. We have always said it on this channel.
Your time don't finish. Oh.
Are you kidding me? Okay, let me just stop here. Let me just stop here. So that I told you that topic of Dr. Zoe is a full day. I will just stop here. Let me obey the rules of the channel.
On the second part, I'll come. You talk about that. That's fine.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma. Thank you. Let's come to Madam Patricia, then Mr. Jonathan. Madam Patricia, thank you very much, ma. Good evening to you. Please, I'd like you to talk to us.
Good evening, Mr. Elvis. Happy weekend to everybody. Those on the panel, thank you for your time with us today. And of course, the people on the comment section, good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're watching us from. Mommy Diaspora, good evening. Thank you for your love and for all that you do for us. We appreciate all your sacrifice. May God reward you mightily. In Jesus' name. And of course, please click on the like and share button. The $ too is there to be used. Thank you so much. And also, I want to appreciate those that have already super chat Mr. Elvis today. Thank you so much. God bless you. Yes, Mr. Elvis, is it Gege or whatever? What is his name? What's it called? I've been looking for how.
Gege.
Looking for how I would do a video to him. honestly, because I think the guy is just talking rubbish. You know, he's not a wise person at all. I don't know whether because somebody, if they give you a microphone, then you will just start to open your mouth and say things that are not factual. For me, I think he's just a young man that doesn't know his left from his right. So that's how I classify him. And his his um his stance on women, that women should not marry, that no man should marry, and I think he doesn't really know what he's talking about. He's too young to dive into things that are too high for him. These are high matters, you know, that you have something between your leg. It doesn't mean that, that you've known it all. So I think if he's hearing me, he should have a rethink about how he presents his whatever he wants to present. Because to me, what he has said doesn't make any sense. There's no logic about what he has said. Okay, his own stance was that, okay, uh, if if he wants to marry somebody, then they must do it in the traditional way. Even if you do it in a traditional way, I am an Urobo woman. My father is an Urobo man. I can say I met my grandparents, okay? And my grandfather was hardworking. Likewise, my grandmother. My grandfather did not use my grandmother as the one to feed him. My grandfather had buildings. He had, lands. Likewise, my grandmother. She was very hardworking. Both of them were equally rich. So I don't know where he's getting this from. Maybe I think it's from a poor family. It's from a very rich family for him to have come this way. My father too, you know, was fending for his, for his family. So I don't know where he got this from. Yes, it's true that, okay, fine. Yeah, if somebody dies and maybe, yes, the family wants to keep the woman in the home. Yes, that is true. It happens. It happens. But it's a thing of choice. If the woman wants to stay within the family, she can. If she don't want to stay within the family anymore, she's free to go. It's not something that is a must, the way he's presenting it. I think you need to get his observation right. It's not like when because you pay the bed price, so if he pass on, they can just transfer the woman to his brother. It's not like that. It has to be There have to be a consensus. That is, the woman had to agree. And even the family too can come in and say, no, we don't want. Since it's like this, okay, we can even give you back the bed price and let her go free. You understand? So the way he's putting it is like it's a must that the woman must just be transferred. No, 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 it's not like that. So I think I hope he will hear me so that he will correct his stance, because what he's saying does not really um, give the full picture of what it is in Urobo land, because I don't think he will use this to advise everybody, because he is talking. I mean, he says it's Urobo, it's an Urobo, so I don't think he will be advising all men. You cannot advise a Benin man with this type of advice. That's what that is bringing now. So I think he's putting it to his own ethnic group somehow. That's my own take, which again is very, very wrong. He doesn't have any legal standing with what he has said. The man that gave the advice, Dr. What was his name? Yeah, the doctor from America that was advising his people about having mansions, that people don't live in. I quite agree with him. I am 100% against anybody that just like to just show off. It's show off. I call that a show of shame. That's what I call it. Because what's the point of you having a mansion 5 years down the line? It's all dilapidated. You can't even maintain it. It's a show of shame. Why don't you have something, 3-4 bedrooms that you can manage with a very big garden, a very big compound? Like Madam Rita said, where you cultivate your own things, make your own little farm there. That's how a wise man thinks. Not having those mansions where, after 5 years, maintaining it becomes a problem. So, and then there's nobody living there. And then somebody in the comment section was saying this is what they do in their side. So he did the right, it's the right thing that people should continue in that track. I think that's not the right thinking process. People need to involve, in your thinking. What is that pride? It's pride. Even if you have a mansion, how many rooms do you sleep in that mansion? If it's not pride. You have a mansion, how many people are hungry around you? You have a mansion. People are suffering around you in your locality, in your community. There are still poor people around you. You have a mansion. Is that not a wasted life? What impact would your mansion do for those people? Nothing. But rather, if you build a little thing that is presentable, good looking, and use that excess to help others, I think that will have a lasting impact in people's life than you just wasting it and later is there standing dilapidated at the end. It will all still come down to nothing. Don't forget that when you build a house, after, depending on the roof you use, after 30 years of some roof, 30 years, you have to remove all the roof and redo it. Some floors, with how they work in Nigeria, some tiles immediately you finish doing it. After 1 year, some of them are broken. So maybe you have to change everything after 5 years. So you have to calculate that. Maybe you build the house when you are young and, but you have to think of, future. Because you are not getting younger by the day. Every day, each day, every passing day, you are getting more, how would I say? I don't like to say older. I would say more advanced. So, and many things that you used to do when you were younger, you might not be able to do them anymore. So, wisdom is profitable to direct. Pride comes before a fall. So, if you want to build something that you can maintain, that it will not be a burden to you even at your old age. Build something that no matter what happens, even when you are in pension, when you have pension, your pension will be able to still go around and take care of your need. So that's my advice. So I'm 100% with the guy. I agree with him in everything he said. And it's an advice. If you like, you take it. If you don't like, you don't take it. You like, you disagree with him. You like, you don't disagree with him. It doesn't change his stance. He has made a mistake and he has realized he made a mistake, and hence he cried out. So those that have ears, let them hear. Pastor Adeboye, yes, 100 days. I don't know, Mr. Ives, is it that he was talking to his members? Is it his congregation, or is telling Nigerians in general to fast for 100 days? I don't know. So if he's telling his members to fast for 100 days, then I will say that is the message that God gave him for his members. But if he's asking Nigerians to fast, then I will tell him that he should go and have a rethink, which means he's really not a man of God, because you cannot call on Nigerians to fast for 100 days. Those that have not fasted before, so they should start fasting now. What is it that God did not bless Nigeria with? That it is now because we have to fast. That's why God will have to do it for us. And that which I mean is those like him, those men of God like him, they are the ones that kept Nigeria where it is. The ones like him, because we know that there are still good men of God in Nigeria. They are truly the ones that is being used by God, and God really sent that they are following God. But there are those that also they are not. Those that go to UN to collect money. You know, those that go and open inaugurate, what they call was it inaugurate, or what's it called, when they go and when they went to the Christland, or what they call it, the church, they said they go and open in Calabar. Was it not Pastor Adeboye that went to open it? The two Christ and Islam church, they said they are building. It was Pastor Adeboye that went to put the stone. So so you can see that there are those that are falling from grace, but yet many are blind, they can't see it. You can't tell us to pray for 100 days. As I'm here, I only fast when my spirit tells me to do. It doesn't matter who is fasting. If I'm not comfortable with it, I will not do it. I have to be comfortable with it. Within my spirit, I will know when to fast. So for somebody to come out and say fast and do this, well, you're on your own. So there's nothing that anybody will come out and tell Nigerians to do now, to fast or to pray, to say that is it. Yes, we pray, but not because of that Nigeria should be better, you know, because Nigeria, come on, we know the problem. The problem are bad leaders. That's all. That's the problem that we have in Nigeria. And God willing, if God give us the right person, yes. Mahmoud, was it Mahmoud? Mahmoud, what's it called? The guy. I think it was yesterday you presented this case, whether I was asking for how much? 126 million. So I don't know why we are still having this discussion with Mahmoud. Why Nigerians are not demanding that it should be removed, and that the president should not have that power to choose or appoint the INEC, what's it called? The INEC president, the position of Mahmoud at the moment. Because otherwise, if we go to election in 2027, we are still going to, it's still going to be the same thing. The election is still going to be rigged. I think this is what Nigerians are supposed to be demanding now, electoral reform. That's what we're supposed to be demanding. We're supposed to be demanding it. Because without that electoral reform, everything that we are planning to do in 2027 is just going to end up the same way that 2023 ended up. So I don't know, because I mean, if Mahmoud is there, and if there is no law passed that the president should not be the one appointing INEC chairman, then we have a big problem. Because the INEC, as far as I'm concerned, they are not independent. You understand? So, if that being the case, we should just, nobody should go and vote. They should just let them do what they normally do. You know, that's my take. Because there's no need for anybody to go and, queue up, go through those stress, waste money, and then at the end they already know who they are going to give the whatever to, the presidency to, or the governorship to. There's no need, or the senator to, or the House of Assembly rep to. They already know. There's no need. Let them just do their game, since they say Nigerians doesn't matter. So that's what I will say. I don't know anything about Doye, even if she was talking about was it how that Obi came, and and that did they have enough people in the polling units? Yes, and then if that's the case, I don't know whether that's true, but if that's the case, so he said they only have people in 20% of the 774 local government or polling units. So if that is the case, 774,000. If that's the case, that they only have 20% representative, so then how come? So all the money that was spent, where did they spend the money then? Who did they give it to? So that's another secrecy that have been revealed, if that's the case. Because if you only have 20%, what they call it, what are they called again? Please, if you know the word, help me, because I'm a little bit tired at the moment. If you have your agent, your party agent on the field, on every polling unit, they're supposed to defend your votes, their party votes. But if you say there's only 20% that were covered out of 774,000 local governments or polling units, so how is so where are all the monies that was spent? Where was the money spent? The money that was raised, where was it spent? So that's another question for another day. Mr. Ivis, I will leave it here. Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Mr. Jonathan, I think you are the next. I think Mr. Ivis maybe is busy.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. Ivis is not. I think it's off. All right. Thank you, Madam Patricia. Thanks for your submission. I believe all the panelists they are hearing, or they can hear. Hello.
Please, can you guys
Hello,
speak?
we can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear
All
you,
right.
sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. I greet you all. God bless you all. Welcome, all panelists. Mr. Elvis, I greet you. God bless you. I'm Mommy Diaspora. God bless you abundantly, ma. And all the commenters and the callers, I greet everyone. Happy weekend and welcome. God bless you all. Today I really don't want to waste my time on that guy talking about women and marriage. It will be a total waste of time. I just need to mention that so that you can know that it's not relevant at all. It's a waste of time. So I'll just leave that, and I will go straight on to these houses, building houses in the village, all this. See, I just have, my own is just an advice, just a general advice.
based on my own experience, personal experience. It's just an advice. In as much as I don't agree to the fact that not building houses. I don't agree to that entirely. However, especially to those of us or Nigerians that are living outside Nigeria, I think this advice, it's my own personal advice. You don't have to take it. It's just a personal one. You don't have to. And I'm not holding anyone to take it. But on my own personal experience, see, especially this advice goes largely to those of us or Nigerians that are living outside. What I've seen over the years, by the special grace of God, I've built houses back home. But it is when you now look at it, you now you look back. You just look back. It's like we are creating a generational problem ahead of us. A generational problem. We, especially those of us living in diaspora right now, we are creating a generational problem for our children. Especially those of us that have not in any way exposed our children to Nigeria at all. They can't speak the language. Ask them. They really don't want to go to Nigeria. They really don't want to live in Nigeria. Most of these houses that Nigerians are building, especially those living outside Nigeria, you are literally creating a generational problem for your own children. If this can, if we can get this, we'll take a step back and then we'll moderate it. So it is on that line of moderation that I will agree with that doctor. It's not that, not doing it at all. I don't agree, but it should be moderated. Because at the end of the day, we are here for a limited time. All of us come here to this world at some point in time, we will leave. The children that in most cases we are laboring for, they will not even be in Nigeria. They don't even speak the language in most cases, or they are not fluent enough. And knowing Nigeria and Nigerians, very oppressive in nature, deceptive in nature, an average Nigerian, giving the chance and giving the opportunity, they will oppress. They'll take advantage of these children. They will go diabolical on them. That time, the father, the mother, probably they are no longer here. They will be diabolical on these children. That is if any of them even want to make a move that I want to go for my father's thing back there. If not even abandon it outright, completely outright. So that my advice is just to moderate it. It's going forward, is just to moderate it. In fact, that's from my own personal experience. Except if you have children. If you have the capacity, if you want to build mansions, build it. If you want to build 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 houses, build it. If your children, the people that you are laboring for, that you are working so that you want to leave an inheritance for them, if you know that you are entrenching them in Nigeria, they are more connected back home. Otherwise, you are just laboring for others. So you are just even when you are there, when someone buy, family members still fight over people's property. How much more when someone is not even there and the children are not even there as well? So that's just my own take on that, my own advice, to my fellow Nigerians who are living outside. Unless you know that your children are always there, They know much more about Nigeria. They are even interested, in Nigeria. They are very interested in living in Nigeria to some extent. Then fine. They know Nigeria somehow, somewhat in and out, then I think that's me. So that's just my advice, and I'll leave it. I'll leave it there.
Okay.
Hello, someone is. I think someone is on mute. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, let me just quickly say this on Mr. Tinubu's this news report. It's a foreign news. It's a foreign news report. We all know that the government is corrupt. We all know that Mr. Tinubu himself is corrupt. We don't need anybody to tell us that. We all know that. If anybody says that in Nigeria, the way that news outlet broadcasted it, by now they will have been shut down, picked up, locked up somewhere.
Sorry, Mr. Jonathan. Mr.
Yeah.
Odua, please can you mute? Thank you.
Yeah. By now, they will have been locked up. The brazen manner at which that presenter, she presented it. No news media in Nigeria dare to do that. They will have been locked up. In fact, shut down completely. So I'm waiting to see how Tinubu will release his bulldog to go and capture the media that presented this. That's just the angle that I looked at it from. We all know the EFCC that is supposed to be the watchdog, they are even more corrupt within the EFCC. That is why we're not seeing any headway in this fight against corruption. It's not just now. It has been like that for almost 2 decades now, going to more than 2 decades now that the EFCC, had been set up. Because the corruption inside the EFCC itself is even worse. So they can't fight any corruption. It's not the way it stands right now. It's not possible. Just the way we have the INEC, that it is the chairman, it is the president that will appoint the chairman of INEC. It is the president that will also appoint the chairman of EFCC. And the EFCC chairman dare not to go after the president or anyone that is associated with him or anyone that are in his good books. He dare not. So we have not started as far as corruption is concerned. It's terrible. We just have not started. And with the anchor, the new central anchor, who said that Nigeria is not lacking in blessing. Yes, Nigeria is not lacking in blessing to a point that we need to pray for Nigeria. Nigeria is not lacking in blessing. You see, when they pronounce this fast, 100-day fast, 50-day fast, whatever, it's part of the entanglement. It's a way to capture people's mind. Nigerians need to liberate themselves out of this. It is not fasting that will liberate Nigeria. Nigeria does not need fasting. Nigeria does not lack any. Nigeria is a blessed nation, tremendously blessed. In fact, if you take your 10 fingers, you want to count the 10 most blessed nation on earth, on planet Earth, I don't think you will count 5 before you will insert Nigeria there. It's one of the most blessed nations on planet Earth, and yet has the most most poor people living also exist in Nigeria, in any country, vis-a-vis the population. When you put it side by side with the population, Nigeria is the worst. A staggering over 100 million people are poor in a nation that is tremendously blessed. Yeah, and we just sat there as if, and the politicians are just okay. They are just okay with it. Everything is just, let everything just flow. Just their turn. They will come, they will do their own. The next election will come, they will do their own, and it just continues like that. So sad, so unfortunate for us in Nigeria. And when Okupe was talking about election, Okupe was talking about election and the fact that the election was rigged. See, let's stop this. I don't know. Let's stop this nonsense argument. I've been hearing it all since 2023, especially since the beginning of the off-cycle election. Before you say Jack, they will say, after all, everybody rigged. After all, APC rigged, PDP rigged. In fact, Labour Party rigged. All the parties rigged. What a cheap one. What a cheap argument. And is a lazy argument. Very lazy argument. The fact that everyone rigged does not make the declared winner or the selected winner legitimate. So since everybody rigged, whoever that is selected is fine. Then we can just move on. Please, let's stop this lazy argument. It's not fair. We are not being fair to ourselves. Rigging is rigging. It is undemocratic, period. Whoever emerged through rigging process is illegitimate, period. There's nothing like the idea that Labour Party did not have enough agents made it easier for them to rig. It's also another cheap one. It's also another cheap one because all this problem, I'll put it at the feet of the leadership of the Labour Party. It is at the center. The leadership of the Labour Party is at the center. That leadership compromised the 2023 election and still compromising the party till date, today as we speak. That's why my own assessment, as of now, I don't see the party having any headway going forward. I just don't see. The party was complaining. It has been analyzed and facts have been put out there. Mr. Peter Obi came out. He gave us his budget. Aisha Yusuf told us how she worked to ensure that she didn't pay money to some dubious Labour Party leaders who wanted to collect money. One individual wanted to collect money for 40,000 agents. Can you just hear that? 40,000 agents. And she wants Aisha Yusuf to transfer the money to him so that he will be the middleman, right? Talk of corruption. And she refused. So the entire mess came from the party itself, from Labour Party. But we shouldn't fall to that cheap argument that even if there were no agents there, that shouldn't constitute or give the room for the other party to rig the election. And even if they have to rig, not at this level. And again, Okupe said, he think that when they are talking to Nigerians, they think that they are the only one that have the liberty to talk, or they are the only one that are seeing what is going on in Nigeria. He said the election was not flawed. Can you just hear yourself speaking? The election was not only flawed, it was significantly flawed.
Mr. Jonathan, you have 3 minutes to go.
Yes, I'm rounding up. The election was significantly flawed, roundabout. Where did you get that from? Where do you want to start from? The 2023 presidential election was massively rigged and significantly flawed. So we should not deceive ourselves. Mr. Okupe, we know what is happening in Nigeria. But at the end of it all, I will just profile solutions. I will not say all of this without profiling solutions. Going forward, 2027, if there will be any elections in Nigeria at all, there must be an electoral reform. Or at the center of it must be that INEC will not have the power to declare who the winner of an election. It is the Nigerian people. Nigerian people. Elections must be counted at the polling unit. And whatever happens at the polling unit is final. Nothing is going to local government. Nothing is, even if it goes there, it is for reference and for record purposes. Local government to state government, and then there will be one man appointed again by the president, the resident electoral commissioner of each state, that will now announce whatever he wants. It shouldn't be so. Whatever the Nigerian people decides at each polling unit goes straight to the central, and each and every Nigerian, they are seeing it and they are counting it. That is the only way. And for any political parties and politicians juggling around for 2027 without being mindful of this central issue of the electoral laws in Nigeria, you are not only crooked, you are criminal. Mr. Elvis, I will leave it there. Thank you. Thanks for everyone. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan. I appreciate you. Thank you for your submission. Thank you, Madam Patricia, earlier on for your submission as well. I was not right here, but I was listening. I appreciate you. I appreciate every one of you. Now, God have a blessed number. Mr. Jonathan, you say you know why you're talking about Gigi, because you think it's irrelevant, right?
No, not rigging. I said I don't want to talk about the marriage. The guy who was talking rubbish about women. I think the women have done justice to that, and it's even a waste of time. I mean, see, imagine me spending 5 minutes or 4 minutes on that and leave other important matters.
Okay.
That guy should enter house as my
as Margarita the talker.
Don't face at all.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Okay. I would like us to move on. Guys, CBD, you are the next. Good evening to you, sir. I would like you to talk to us. You have 8 minutes. It's good to have you on the show.
Good evening, Mr. Elvis. But I thought I was also going to get 15 minutes, like all that.
No. I passed the 15 minutes before you came into the panel now.
All right, let me quickly get to it. Greetings to the panelists and everyone listening, the loyal and trustworthy listeners, and also everyone on the diaspora and everybody in the panel. Greetings to everyone. And now, just quickly to that gay guy. To be honest, personally, I feel like maybe it's just there are these people. Currently a lot of people online do so much to remain online. So they see a lot of things just to trend, and it's so unfortunate that we have gotten to that that time in society whereby people, it doesn't matter the kind of thing they're saying, as long as it gives them attention, So, and that shows lack of creativity. It means you don't have nothing much to offer. So it means you just got that fame by chance, and instead of making good use of it, now you're trying to cause controversy so that you remain relevant. So it's quite unfortunate. Obviously, whatever he's saying doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, I will speak a little, just like very briefly on, you see, Nigerian culture. I feel like a lot of Nigerians that have not traveled abroad or that have not even gone around Africa, because to be honest with you, I'm more of a African. I've gone around Africa more than even outside Africa, and they don't understand that Nigeria is one of the societies, one of the few societies left that marriage still, there's still kind of a cultural value on the institution of marriage more than some other societies out there. And that's why when I see some Nigerians talking, fighting, they're talking about women, women talking about men, and thinking as if their problem is the most unique or is the biggest, is because they don't understand. It doesn't mean that all these other African societies does not have some, traditional, respectable kind of family system, but a lot of it is gone. There's so much single mother menace, and like there's just so much going on in some of these countries, and you cannot, pin it on one of the genders. You can't say it's just the women in those countries. You can't say it's just the men. So sometimes, but me, I will always look at the men first, because right from the Bible, from the beginning, when a society or a system fails, the Creator asked the man for accountability, even before the woman that gave him the apple. So there's a reason for that. If you claim to be a leader, then you make sure that whatever you're leading does not go left. So, having said that, I just feel like Nigerians should embrace their culture. There's one of the reasons, there's like this trend or this kind of demand for Nigerian, people want to get married to Nigerian men, white, black, any race at all. There's just this thing. And one of the reasons is just because of the value and the kind of culture that we still have, this loyalty to marriage. Obviously, it's not like everybody in Nigeria is like that, but most of the people they still have value for that, So then let me leave that there, but let's not take that guy serious. I think he's just trying to trend. He's trying to remain relevant, and unfortunately, he's doing it very, shamefully. So then this thing of the house building in the east and all of that. To be honest with you, people should build houses. People should build houses. In fact, I would have understood more if the doctor had said something about as you're building, also make like a timeline, kind of a timeline of you returning back home. Because I don't know if you understand, we had this movement that was recently revived in the East called Akurolo. Akurolo, meaning let your wealth get back home. So, and even before that, it has always been a thing. You build a house whether it's in the village or in any town, any place in the east. And I think it's just a little bit exaggerated because of social media. So people think like most of the people building houses in the east are not abroad, and they are also building. The ones in abroad are also building, but most of the people building are people in Nigeria. In fact, many of them are based in the east. Maybe they're in one of my in-law that lives in Aba. He just completed his house in Anambra because he's from Anambra, So it's not about. So when you see all of that, people think, oh, these people are all from abroad. No, no, no. Most of the ones abroad are not actually. It's just a fraction of them that are building, and I need more of them to build, because at the end of the day, the conversation should be how do we take make East or as Igbos, how do we make it a place where you not just only have a house, but also you can, everything can be that can sustain life there, that can sustain your life just both the businesses and everything. And there are businesses. Onisha, Anambra, a lot of people, do you know the population of Anambra? So when we say some of these things, I think sometimes, not because of we are intentionally trying to sound ignorant, but because of the wrong information that has been fed to people for long. So a lot of people have a wrong perception of the East. Because even as it is right now, the only places that are really dealing with insecurity in the East right now, which people are really angry with with those governors, is Anambra State and Imo State. But the Imo State guy is, to be honest, as much as a lot of people would not give him any credit, he has been fighting a lot of insecurity. But the problem is, the foundation and the people that he's aligned with, is making people is making everything he's doing to just be like, seem like he's doing nothing. But if you go to Abia State is currently the safest. Enugu State next, then Ebonyi State. Those three states I just mentioned, the insecurity is very low. And at the end of the day, that is what we want. So we cannot say, okay, because of obviously some people don't know when someone is talking about the East, it's good also to kind of have a clear understanding of, okay, there's insecurity, which part of the East. Obviously, we know it's, you can just say it's in the East, that's true, but it's not as, we just need to get into details. And you see what Alex Oti is doing, and I thank God that this is the time that at least some of these governors, unfortunately, most of the governors in the past, they've never done anything to kind of change the narrative, But recently, we've had these governors like Alex Oti, he was a revolutionary governor. You see everything he's doing. Abia State, and I was even wondering, Abia State should have an airport before most of before even Ebonyi and Imo and all those places, because of the kind of economic activities in Aba, and then and he's already doing that, So in the next few years, obviously, a lot of Igbos are going to go back home. Well, that's the plan. So where are you going to go if you don't have a house? Build the house. If you don't have anybody to stay there, let one of your kingsmen or whoever, they should go and be looking after the house for you. But I understand when people are saying that don't just build. Me, I also don't support some of the design of those buildings whereby you see just giant blocks and maybe there's no much grain or whatever around. But mansion, build it. Whatever you can build it. Because that is the plan. We're all going to go back home. We are abroad, but are we going to stay here forever? It's not everybody that wants to remain here for in the next maybe 20 years. I've always said the kind of traveling abroad that I support is the one that you have a timeline. You plan. If it's 15 years, if it's 10 years, what's the point? You want to go and stay in the cold for I don't know how long. Then you look like somebody that, no, you should have a timeline. You go back home. And if you had some things you've invested in, you start making a living or retire from those things. So there's not much time for me to go deeper. Like Madam Rita said, this is a very big topic, and I think it's not just related to the Igbos, but it just seems like the Igbos are always in the front line of any of these conversations. But it's something that I think is a Nigerian thing generally.
You will continue from your second submission. We need to move on now.
Okay, all right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll come back to you shortly. Thank you very much, guys, for your submission. I appreciate you. Mr. Oduwa, it's good to have you on this show. Good evening to you, sir. I beg talk to us. Your 8 minutes starts now.
Good evening, Mr. Najawash. Happy Sunday. Good evening, all the panelists.
Mr. Elvis,
happy Sunday
you
to
forget
all.
me.
Mr. Prince Alabo, no, I think Mr. Oduwa came before you now.
I be the fourth person will come before you. As you announce those people, now me enter before these two people where they talk now.
Or maybe your network logged you out. I don't know why, because according to my screen here that you guys cannot see, You are second to the last, which the last person is Black Panther. Okay, but don't worry, you are still here. I'll call you one, Mr. Dua is random. Thank you, sir. Mr. Dua, quiet, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, mommy in diaspora. Happy Sunday. All the commenters, listeners, and viewers. Happy Sunday to all. Well, I thank everyone who has spoken and those who will still speak. I'm not here to defend or to break down anybody. But life is reality, and we have to say things the way it is. I will start with for the comment of the comment that this our brother make on the women. Well, it seems I understand that women's will not take it lightly, or men will not take it lightly. It is not the duty of anybody to advise anybody how he will live his life, but it's still a duty of people to still put some things in perspective for people to view. It is not only gay who have a view of a marriage of these modern days. Those who they marry in our forefathers' time, or our grandfather, or our fathers, or our supposed fathers after our fathers' age, we see marriage something profitable. But this modern era of this need damn propose marriage, you have to understand that it's no longer marriage. You see, that is why I said people that it is managed. Let's come together and manage ourselves. Because what they call Christian marriage now, and now live African mentality of life, and now living in a Western life. And if they are living the Western way of life, it will be better. But they just borrowed those things and put the white cloth on the surface and did not put the character of those things. Now, the black woman want you to marry, which they call legal, and it's a law that it is only one man and one woman, which they borrow from the white, and they did not put the way the white practice their own. They will put it before you. The woman want you to feed his father, feed his mother, feed his auntie, feed his uncle, feed his children, even his boyfriend that he has, he will be calling his brother. He wants you to feed everybody in his family. Is that marriage? Is that how the white people did their own? Or is that how are they doing it? So when people are seeing all these things, and before you know, because of what they call their law, which that is why I always tell people is lost. What they call law, the woman will not be misbehaving. Then, because he just want to take everything away from the man, want to rape the man. That is why today the white people who even have the law are no longer getting married. Let just tell you that I cannot continue the suffer, or after this thing, after I have labored, then one woman will just come and pack it. The house you built in the name of marriage, then the woman divorce you now, misbehave and divorce you. It will not be bringing another man to come and be enjoying the house, while you will be sleeping in a train station. So our people, that is what our people are practicing now. So when people say don't marry, it's not their fault. It is what they are saying. Because money, to make money, despite it's not too much hard work, but it's still hard work. It depends on how the glory of God come upon you, and how you are able to brave and make things easy for you, and money comes. So, but despite those things, if the spirit of money come to you, you are blessed. If the spirit of money did not come to you, then you are still blessed in the category you find yourself in it. But one woman will come from elsewhere in the name of marriage and come and rip you off of those things. Especially, okay, look at our Nigerian women now, because they believe on this religion, which they call, our brother said they should go and fast for 3 months now. That's 100 days, that's 3 months. These women that will not plan with the man, but if they hear crusade in Kafashan, they want to run there. If they hear crusade in Ethiopia, they will know road to all those things. But let them plan with the man. Let them bring their own money out. No, they don't want to do that with the man. So why would you expect the man to marry? So when people who get married like this, our Madam Patricia or other, our Mama H.O. who get married those times, they can see things different from the way this boy is seeing it. Because their own way of thinking is different. So we should not just put, in every nonsense, there is this sense. A boy in Ghana, we are saying these things that this Gege said. He said it before. He said, there is no need of me getting married. He said, because all stress of life become upon the man. At the end of it, the woman will come and rape you of your property. So what is the need of you getting married? It is not the Gege that started. Many people have the view. Even myself, I have the view of a certain stage that if a woman can take my money and go to crusade in Sokoto, where it's not helping me to plan how we are going to have a factory in the door we live on, did you expect that marriage to be a marriage? No. So I believe on reality, not just criticism. Because before I criticize, I will put the practical before you. So that is for that. Then for the other brother who said that, the doctor who said that the Igbo build house in the villages, well, for me, I doesn't really see anything bad in building house. And the man did not still say about something. He tell you, build the house that you can live in, which is true. Me, I used to say, it is greediness that make person to build big houses. It is greediness, whereby you have other things that you can do with the money that will change life. Let me be sincere here. Those mansions, those people that build those mansions, and there is no electricity in that their village. They start shouting, the government, the government, the government. There is no pipe-borne water. They start shouting the government. But if they come to reality, the way this our brother is saying that if we are not greedy, let them just build only downstairs. The money that they will use to do the decking and other things, let them put it together. They will have electricity in that village. They will be able to tie their road in that communities. But people will not think it that way. So everybody, in every nonsense, there is still sense in it. So that is for that. It is not bad. For, one thing is we believe on, we want to enrich ourselves. How many days do we have to live to enjoy those things? We cannot enjoy it. We only labor for people that is coming. And those people that is coming, we no longer value those property because they still have their own agenda of their plan in their head. So why are we really destroying ourselves over things? I remember when I watched Ghana president, the new Ghana president, when he was giving something in the, is it not UN? It reminded me of something. He said when he was, I think years ago, that Michael Jackson sang one song and said, we are the world and we are the children. To make a better life of this life, it is me and you. So, but we are suffering today. It is because me and you did not want us to make a better life. That is the truth way of life. So let us not just only negative in things. Like our Madam Rita says something, that if we are still thinking of our forefather, that we will have not be having internet today. No. These are why at times I will talk to people when they say education. I do not I did not hate education. I did not hate those who talk English. But at times, the way we see things, see our forefathers, like we see them like something that we are not good. It's very awkward and obvious to me. Because if our forefathers were not thinking well, would they be able to have discovered name, they give to things? Everybody advance every day. Not that in their time, they still have their own technology of way of life. So it doesn't make them irrelevant or inferior. So we should not be criticizing or antagonizing them as if they were nothing. They have their own development of life. It is people that discover mirror. It is people that discover cowrings. It is people that do trade by barter. So every stage have its way of change. So that is for that. Like Sowore said that the president were not voted for. It's truth. So we know that we know it, we have been saying it. Yes, but how many people will come out in public and say, no, people will say because law have said it. But the law said it does not make it legitimate. That is what Sowore said. And Sowore did not do REU. He did not do bad. He said the truth. So let us know. Me, I don't disregard when people bring their opinion. I put it on the table. Yes, if it is good, it's good. If it is not good, okay, it's left for the person. That is why he advised Peter Obi. He said Peter Obi should not worry about criticism. And it's truth. If you want to If you want to put people who their brain has been locked with 10 votes and not, if you want to open it for them, did you think it's going to be easy? No, it will not be easy. So people should still stop antagonizing Sowore. Everybody has their own view. Let us say our view and let us all of us talk. The way Sowore is fighting, if we see 10 people that is fighting like that, the country will be okay. So let us not be saying Sowore because he's fighting and we did not like his view and Sowore is no longer something. No, please. Then when you cook what is cook anyway, everybody said something and he still said Labour Party did good. But one thing I want to ask now, people are saying Peter Obi is the threat. On which party? That is what we need to answer. We need to be asking on which party Peter Obi is going to contest. Because there is no longer party. Labour Party is no party for the next presidency. So on which party? So we should be working at that out. Thank you. God bless you.
Okay, Mr. Odoa, God bless you, sir. Thank you very much for your submission. God bless you. I appreciate you, sir. Finally, Prince Alabo, thank you very much for your patience. Sometimes this do happen, although on the screen here, the way we have it here, now it be reach your turn, but I don't know, maybe you left and you came back, but you have always been there. That means those people, according to my screen, they came before you.
Sir, it did not come before us. Let us not deceive ourselves. I watched everything here. It did not come before us. Thank you.
No, that's fine because my screen, what I see here, Madam Rita, Madam Patricia, Mr. Jonathan, Oga CBD, Mr. Oduwa, Oga Prince Alabo before Black Panther. But anyhow it happens, we are still here. We all are still gonna give our submission. Talk to us, sir. Good evening to you. Prince Alabo, you're not there. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, Mr. Evans.
Okay.
Yes, Mr.
Prince
Niger Watch.
Alabo is not
I can
available.
hear you. I can hear you.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Please talk to us. You have your 8 minutes. Good evening to you once again.
All right, my brother. Good evening to everyone. Let me just stand on the existing protocol. It's a wonderful topic, but let me just talk more on the case, something that really affects the country and not like the gay issue. I just think it's because it's a young guy, it's a Gen Z generation, and he does not really understand what marriage is. I think when he grow old a little, he will understand the importance of marriage to know that, okay, baby mama and the wife is a two big different something. It's not something you mash together. Yeah, let me just go straight. There is this video you played, one analyst, I don't know if that is a Benin TV, was talking about the issue of Felix Moka and Peter Obi, trying to analyze the stuff to say it's just the way Peter Obi was speaking. He wasn't talking as if it's a opposition. That a true opposition should come out and speak and give proper solution. I don't know if that man actually go through the speech of Peter Obi giving out a solution to APC government on what to do. But they did not pick that one out. That he picked out from all the comments that Peter Obi made was just to come out to say he's inciting Nigeria against the government, which was a wrong way of them perceiving him. To be frank, Peter Obi is someone that already Nigerians has believed. They believe in him, they have faith in him, they have confidence in him. He's a politician, but people trust him more than any other politician in Nigeria. People are willing to do a lot of things for him because they think this is our Messiah. This is the one that is concerned about the people. That is one thing you see APC. are looking at it. Because you will see Atiku will attack, Sowore will attack. You will not see APC go after those ones. The question is, why are they going after Peter Obi? Because it's the problem on their flesh. It's something, he has done something that our president will never forget. This is the man that have been to Lagos to beat him. If governorship election and presidential election should happen the same day in 2023, at least a Labour Party governor would have been in that place today. So you don't think APC will underrate that kind of a person. So that is why the way they come to Peter Obi, if they have their way, in any way they can silence him before 2027. Because they are not seeing Atiku as anything. They are not seeing Sowore as anything. The only threat to APC is Peter Obi. If Peter Obi decides today, this is the way I want to go, it's going to be a problem to APC. That is why you see them sending. And you will see them, they will always send your brother to come and attack you. They will send people of your tribe, your same language, to come and make the battle for you. And they will fall and come. So you will see both of you will be fighting. Then they will sit down somewhere and be laughing. It's the same thing when Tinubu wants to bring the tax reform bill. Akpabio step out and they brought the deputy senator who is from North, since the North is against the bill. That one stood in. You saw what happened with him with Ndume. You saw the man came back a letter and said no, just to be free with the northern leaders. And this deputy senate president came back and everything he said, he works opposite to it, to align with his northern agenda. So that is how Nigeria will play politics. Mr. Elvis, I sent you a video, which is my call. I don't know if you have seen my video, which I am calling for electoral reform. This is time for us to begin to push. If we don't start now for this electoral reform, with this current pattern and this current INEC, today, INEC is seeking for ×3 of the money in its own budget for 2025 of what it took during last election. You ask yourself question, what is INEC doing with this money? Do you know how much INEC is budgeting for only to defend case in the court? We want to reduce those costs because Nigerians are suffering. If we can have a better electoral reform where we don't have any need of going to court, it will be very important. So we need to begin to push. Whichever angle we can take this, you think whatever you are saying, people are not hearing. People are listening. People can hear us. Let's keep pushing, asking for this electoral reform. We shouldn't keep quiet. Politicians will not do it. We have the power to do those things. We have the power. We have to show them. And how do we do this? We need to get the keys and padlock, like I'm saying. Politicians hold those padlock and key for Nigeria. So we have to look for a way to take it back. The only way for us to take this key and this padlock from them is for us to go through the electoral reform, where they will have value for citizens, where they will have respect for citizens. That is the only option. That is the only way out. If we don't push for electoral reform, begin on your social media handle, on your WhatsApp page, whichever way group you belong, begin to push this for electoral reform. It's one man that came out and continue on his page, #EndSARS, #EndSARS. The message keep going. He didn't stop. He went far. So you think whatever you are pushing today, if we don't start it today, once it get to 2026, my brother, there is no way those people can do anything again. Are we going to go back to this same way that will go and the judge will begin to sit down and come and decide who will be your governor, decide who will be your House of Rep member, decide who will be your this? Today, you can see a judge coming out today to speak. He has been there. Are they not looking at, see judges in other countries who are seeing things going wrong, and they will gently just resign and let people know this is the kind of thing happening, and I don't want to be part of this? Was that judge not in that place when they make the president and say certificate is nothing? Was that judge not in that place when they say Buhari, who does not have a secondary school YX certificate, and they said it does not really matter, he can be a president? Was he not there? Was he not there when all those things come? What do they do? Today, when you want to retire, I want to come out, all of them will be speaking because you want to go. After you have enjoyed the corruption, you are now going out of the system. You want to come and attract people who think that you are a good judge. That all those things is what Wike will sit down, stand on the place and say fake. All those ones are fake. So you can't come to pretend to us now, telling us that Igbo does not have any representative. Have you not been there? You can raise this concern since. You can do it since and say because there is no equality, there is no transparency in the system, I am stepping out, not to wait until after you've eaten the fat cake you want to step out to go and rest, enjoy the corrupt money you have taken from corrupt politicians. You come and tell us, Nigeria, this is what you observe. It's really shameful to them. For us to maintain integrity, you have to let people know, even when you were there, and step out to say, yes, because of my integrity, I don't want to stand myself. That is why I'm resigning from this position. So that is where we'll find ourselves. So I want to appeal to you, Mr. Niger Watch. I sent you to push out for the electoral reform. Send this message across to Nigerians so that Nigerians can hear us. That is what we want for our nation. Electoral reform now or never. If we leave it beyond now, politicians are not going to help us. We are the one to help ourselves. So we need to hold them accountable, call our senators, call our House of Assemblies members, call out House of Rep members, call all of them and tell them this is what we want. We have to make the move. If you sit down, Akpabio is not ready to do this because they want to benefit from the corrupt system. None of them will be willing to do any electoral reform if the citizen will sit down in their houses. Let us come out and do it. God has given us the power to do all those things. We need to exercise that power that we have. And for the Adeboye telling us to fast, yeah, it's asking people to fast, yeah, because he's enjoying from the government. He wants more to come. So people who want to join him, the question is that they will not come out to condemn. When we were growing up, we know what happened. We know Bishop Idahosa, blessed memory, how we speak truth to power, even during military government. I've never seen any bishop today. I've never seen any spiritual leader today doing the kind of thing that man did. But we believe the time is now for us citizens to wake up and take back our country. God bless us all, and God bless our great country. Thank you, Mommy Diaspora. Thank you, Niger Watch. I appreciate everyone, my good panelists.
All right. Oga Prince Alabo, God bless you, sir. Thanks for that submission. I appreciate you. I'd like us to move on now. The last person on the panel is my brother, Black Panther. Black Panther, talk to us, my brother. You have your 8 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. May God bless you, bless everything about you, your family, everyone. And mommy, may God increase the grace upon your life and give you good health. And to every one of us, we should keep speaking, keep talking, and we should keep referring back to what we have postulated here, because I can feel it coming back. Because people thought when the word came, they were looking at the word as if the word was mere thing, but it has come back. I want to thank everyone out there, the commenters. I want to thank you all for doing a great job. I've been watching your comments. Thank you very much. I want to start by saying I want to talk on Gege. You see, when Gege was speaking, I laughed and I almost I made some talk with my wife when I was at home, but I went out now. So I later realized that everything that Gege is talking about, people look at it as stupid, but it has started happening in Nigeria already. Don't we feel so? Don't we take it? It has started happening. It has started happening. What Gege is saying has already started. Like Madarita will say, the world is revolving. Yes, it's revolving, and even marriage is revolving too. The Gen Z you see now, they don't know anything about the culture, because your culture will bring you up first. You have a contact with your culture first before contact with anything else. But now, I'm saying here that it has started happening. How are we going to stop it? What are we going to say to make it stop? How are we going to guide the people coming up in order not to go into it? Because marriage is a sacred institution we God has set aside. That is why it is optional. It's either you go in or you go out. You see, sometimes I said one thing, I said the marriage institution is being attacked. Yes, it's being attacked. These are products of what they have learned from what you have in the internet. These are all happening now to our own eyes. We should not shy away from it. What we should be tackling is what is going to be the solution. That is why I make reference to us. Our culture, we should not allow it to go from us. Neither should we allow it to go from our kids. Because it makes us upright. That is why you see a lot of people out there, they want to get married to Nigerian men. Nigerian men are not saints. They are not the best in the world. But there's something they see in them, which sometimes even our men and women in Nigeria does not really value. Let's call it a spade. Something is happening. We have to use our eyes. In every stupid talk, there is always an atom of sense inside. And he did not bring that from his head. He saw it before he processed it with his brain and now brought it out. It might look stupid. But there's one thing I see there. One topic I see in his talk. Why is it that, and this topic is like this, and the question goes like this: why is it that they've started practicing this? Is it like a culture when a man is very, very wealthy and is married, and when something happens, just slight issue happen, the woman will go out and seek for divorce? People will say, oh, it is personal, we don't know what is happening in the divorce. No. Anything that will make you divorce is two things. One, taking outside chick, or the woman going outside, another taking another man, or promiscuity. I forgot the second one, but I know it's two things that will make a woman or a man break up. But I know one of them is promiscuity, and I forgot the other one skipped my memory. You guys might know. But apart from that, why is that reoccurring every time, even in the media space, other countries? It's occurring, and now it's being practiced by the African people. Those are the kind of questions we should ask. There must be a problem. We are going far from our culture. That is what I see there. But in totality, what I see there is that we should try as much as possible not to go far from our culture, because our culture nurtures very well. Anything that does not conform with our culture, we can prune our culture too, so that we don't have anything that, like when you marry, some men want to marry more than two. It's a choice, but we should not practice it because economically it's no longer viable. So that is what I see there. So everything that is saying, I'm not saying you should practice, but it has started happening. What is the solution? That is what we should be thinking. I don't like people attacking, when it comes to all those families, you be attacking. No, it has, what is said has already started happening. What is going to be the solution? What is your preferred solution to it? That is the question we should be asking ourselves. And that question is left for individuals. But my own suggestion is that we should not go far from our culture, because that proves us up our children very well. They not become what is happening outside of the atmosphere of Africa. That is one thing I just want us to note there. And that is why I pick out from there. And I pick out questions, and I saw it is already happening. Now I want to go to the building of home. Whether like what I didn't listen to it, but I catch some things out of it. You see, I look at it from another angle. I look at it from the angle of Oga Jonathan. But that on the part of Oga Jonathan, it is fear. I understand it. It is fear. It's all boiled down to fear. After you might have left the world, how would they treat your children in that space of property, whatever? We know how it is in Africa. But on the other hand, we should take notice of one thing. How do we bring up our children? Do we take them home every year so that they can get acquainted with the culture too? Those are the kind of things we should also look to. How do we bring up our children? We should also look into that. But I am not of the opinion that you should not build a home that you want to live in. It's a matter of choice. And I want to see this from different perspectives, cultural perspective. The Igbo men, I am total support of them. Go back home and develop your place very well, massively. That is it. Because the Igbos have paid a lot of price. They paid a lot of price. Look at what happened in the last election. Do you think they will not get their brain to be wise enough to know where their investment should go first, so that if they lose this side, they don't lose the other side? Properties are investment. And also there are things that you can hand over to the next generation. So looking at the fear, we should put the fear aside and look at it holistically. Let's cover that side and look at it holistically. The Igbos need to develop their land. Likewise, every other people. You need to find a way to develop your land. You cannot continue, because the way the Nigerian is structured today, we should be very wise. We should go and ask our parents who are above 70, 75, 80, and let them talk to us. Because the Nigerian space, they live in it more than us. We need to develop our own. Benin was really not during about 20 years ago. Benin was not like what it is today. It was the people that were traveling out that developed it. It was people that traveled out that came back to develop it. And the Benin city you see is somebody's village. The Kobaoka you see is somebody's village. All the local government you see is people's village. So people need to develop where they stay. If you want to retire, you need to build a home where you feel a home that suits you. Whether it is downstairs or upstairs, it's your own personal choice. If you want to do other investment, they can advise you on other investment purposes. But your home that you want to live in your own village, whether you want to retire to your village, it's your own personal choice. I will not argue that with you. But I will say every man, and the pursuit of every man, go to your state and develop it. Whether you build a factory, whether you develop it, let it go up. There is no place that cannot be developed. There is no place that development cannot go to. It's all about the foresight, the vision. That is it. That is what I take it. I will never discourage people not to build home in their village, whether it is small or it's big. It's all about choice. That choice is not supposed to be put down for public discussion, to me. So I will go further. I will go on one issue that I said here about the Nigerian space. All these guys that are having, oh God, Nigeria Watch, I have a lot of things that I've researched on. 2 points. And 1 point, let me give one, then I'll give the other one last. And that last one is going to be advice for Edo State. I'm very critical in this. The one I'm going to say here, the last one before I go. Nigeria now has added drug peddling into their GDP growth. You know, I said something about it last when one of these broadcasts. Now, on Nigeria officially added drug peddling into their GDP growth. Thank you, Nigeria Watch.
All right. Thank you, my brother Black Panther. You. I appreciate every one of you right there. And God bless you now. We need to have our final submission so we can round up. Thank you very much for your time. 3 hours already clock as already. Make we start with Madam Rita again. Madam Rita, you're there. So let's do a quick 4 minutes so that
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to make a confession. I was very happy when that bell rang while Black Panther was talking, because a lot of things he was saying, I do not agree with them. I do not. Anyways, back to Mr. Odua. I think he got the wrong impression when I said, we have to evolve from, what our forefathers were doing. Like, if we were still stuck with what our forefathers were doing, we'll probably not see the internet today. He probably misunderstood me. I never said that we should discard.
Madam Rita,
yes,
you said
sir.
you did not agree with a lot of the comments from Black Panther.
Yes,
Black
and that's a topic for another day, because it will take.
But you didn't mention even one now.
Mr. Jonathan, I should mention one.
Okay, no, no. Let's hear.
Mr. Elvis, okay, I will mention one, maybe two. Mr. Black Panther said, perhaps, it is not every. Okay, he kept mentioning culture and tradition. You see, those words they are being used so carelessly, and there's a reason why I say so. Who is the custodian of culture and tradition in the nuclear family? The father, according to the African culture. Now, let me come down Nigerian culture. Who is the custodian of culture and tradition in a nuclear family? In Nigerian culture, it is the father. Are the fathers of today upholding on to that culture and tradition? That's one thing I want to discuss with Black Panther, to make you realize there's a lot of things going on. And another thing you said, that perhaps the reason why foreign women are marrying our Nigerian men, because maybe our Nigerian women, we do not, appreciate our men. That is not true. Yeah, let us start saying the truth. Let us stop pretending, because I'm just sick and tired of this rhetoric, always kind of either directly or indirectly blaming the women for either failed marriages or children who have become in fact, I want to use some certain children who have become pariahs in a society. Talking about culture and tradition. Yes, going back to there. Men of today, would you, if you see two women standing now, please be honest with yourself. Nobody should tell me, no, that's it. If you see two women today, two young ladies, and you want to get married, they say men are moved by what they see. If one woman is carrying a low cut, her hair is not jerry coiled, she's just using her woolen hair that God gave her, and you see another lady who has probably done some plastic surgery, or possibly wearing some hair extensions on her hair, the man will be moved by the woman wearing extensions on her hair. The man will look at the other woman and, oh, she's bush. She's tying boba and wrapper, or she's tying wrapper on her chest, or, she's not smelling nice enough. You men will pick trophy wives. I repeat, you men will always pick trophy wives. I'm not saying all men. 80% of men will pick trophy wives. There's something Black Panther also said, and I was surprised you said that. That there's something that guy said, that which is kind of true, that men of today, when they get married, all of a sudden the man makes money and the woman all of a sudden wants to write a divorce, for maybe some reasons that are not reasonable, to make as a yardstick to divorce. And you mentioned that there are just two prerequisites for divorce. They are not two, by the way, it's more than two. But that is not entirely true. There's one thing that I always tell people. Any man or woman who doesn't have money today, they are very pious, benevolent, kind, respectful. You would not use their situation to judge their character. You would never use that situation to judge the kind of person that person really is. Give them money, give them influence and power, and see what happens. It happens both ways, man or woman. There are cases where a couples will struggle together, they build together, and when the man all of a sudden he sees that he's making more, he will go and look for a trophy girlfriend or a trophy wife, or abandon the woman, or give reasons why he has to get the trophy girlfriend. Many men, especially our footballers, our sportsmen, many of them, why is it that it's always beauty queens they get married to? Majority of them, very, very few of them stick with the girl that was with them from day one. Very, very few. Very, very few. They end up with trophy wives. That is the culture. We've seen it. That is why I say, let us be truthful to ourselves. When you marry a woman because of what you see, because you guys are claiming that you are moved by what you see. I'm using what the men usually say now. And you see a beauty queen. I'm not saying the beauty queen is bad, or you see somebody who is an entrepreneur, or she's look a certain way, because it's a recurrence of when we see our sportsmen. I'm using sportsmen as an example. It's a recurrence. Even wealthy men, it's a recurrence. They get trophy wives because they need to keep a certain standard. It is not about if that woman, is that woman matching your ideology? Would that woman understand how you suffer to get it? To get the wealth? Does that woman understand? But you pick a trophy wife, and down the line, this trophy wife has children. She understands where your wealth is going to. She understands her rights because she's triple exposed because of your wealth. She knows her stance, and then she will divorce you, and she knows what she's going to take from you. Then this same man, I repeat, this same man who picked these trophy wives come out to shout that, can you imagine, I built this woman to what she is today. She's using the children now to fight against me. She has taken 80% of my wealth. Daddy. Hello. I can say from what I've seen on social media, and a lot of people have seen personally, that the tribe that I've seen that's actually marrying foreign women, or let me use the word trophy wives now, are the Igbos, and they actually stay together because the women understand, and the men know how to be men. I'm not saying other tribe don't know how to be men, no, but Mr. Alvin, this is unfair to click the bell on me because I needed to really speak about other stuff. But if you want to cut me out now, that's fine. Mr. Jonathan, are you caused this one? Oh, thank you.
Waiting be unfair. You don't use your time. You say unfair.
Black
Panther. Unfair now.
You don't use your time finish now. They thanked you now.
Black Panther, how you go respond now? Now you be the
I not go respond because Madam Rita not be match me for this matter. Not be match me.
This topic
Rita not be match me with anything for this matter. When I say culture is very big, all this one you talk is very minor. This one you talk a minor thing.
On this topic.
Okay. Thank you. When it gets to your time, you can utilize it. Okay, Jonathan, you have your 4 minutes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Elvis. Thank you very much. I think, Madam Rita, you really went on the jugular on Mr. Black Panther. Mr. Black Panther has been kind enough to say he's not going to respond. I think that's also a brilliant.
That was a good decision.
That was a good one. That was also a good one.
Very good decision.
Yeah. But Mr. Black Panther, I really want to thank you for your submission 2 days ago. I was not on the broadcast, but I heard Madam Rita say something yesterday about unity. And he referred, she credited you for that. So she's always, not biased. She credited you. And then I also mentioned it about unity. Then I said, okay, let me even took some time. So I was, kind of scanning the broadcast because I didn't have time to listen to the entire broadcast. I was scanning the broadcast, looking for your submission. And I listened to it. That was a good one, actually. In fact, if Mr. Elvis could cut it, Just an advice. You cut that submission and just put it out there. See, everything we're talking about now, that is our solution. That's our solution now. We got to come together. Everyone or people saying that it is me or the highway, I am a better opposition. No, all those ones will not cut it. It is only unity. We got to come together. Whether you are Sowore, whether you are the SDP guy, the SDP party or whatever, Mr. Pitt, they got to come together. That is a sure bet. We can only wait and see what will happen, what they will do. Maybe I don't want to, just preempt them at this point in time, but let's wait and see. Maybe that's what they will do. It will be wise, very, very wise, if all the oppositions can come together. Let's come together and defeat this common, enemy, this common evil, satanic evil that we have as government in Nigeria. That is the easiest route. That is the most common sense route to take. Any other route, as I said, will be crooked. In fact, it will be criminal to go into any election in 2027 without any of these things happening. Electoral reform coming together without one or all of them happening. You must be something else. You must be, I don't know, you must be something else. Perhaps worse than what we even have now in Nigeria. Because how you want to achieve it, I don't understand. And our problem is huge in Nigeria. Where do we want to start from? At the end of the day, maybe, let me preempt politicians here, maybe you are thinking the court is there. They will rig it, and then which court? Are you okay? I have to ask you politicians this question this moment. The normal Nigerian questions when they are stunned or when they are surprised. Are you okay? Which judiciary? The judiciary that will claim, the Supreme Court that will claim that they are a court of public opinion, but they will not agree, a court of public policy, but they will not listen to public opinion. Then you are an autocratic institution. You are an autocratic body. If you are a court of public policy, then you should be, to a very large extent, you must be influenced and be open, susceptible to public influence as well. If you are not, then you are an autocratic institution. And as it stands right now, it is more or less an autocratic institution. And this is the institution you want to rely on come 2027. So the electoral reform is undebatable. Unity is undebatable if we are going to move ahead in that country. Mr. Elvis, I will leave it there. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you. I agree with you 100%. I said this just yesterday here, that me preparing for 2027 when the same Mahmoud Yakubu, we put paper for our eye, is still the INEC chairman. I'm not ready for that. Anyway, okay, CBD, sir. Please, your 4 minutes starts now.
Okay, thank you so much. When Madam Rita said something about men looking for a trophy wife and also going for superficial things and crying at the same time. You see, that's why we have to be truthful to ourselves and not make this thing a thing of it's the fault of women or the fault of men or something like that. Because if we are being honest, a lot of men, if a man can save himself or can, bring himself out of falling for his lust, he's going to save himself a lot of problems. Because to be honest with you, the same thing with a woman. The problem is that people, when they see all these signs, they, for some reason, think they can solve it in the future, that they should just enter these things and somehow. Then when the thing comes back to bite them, they start crying that, oh, I did this for you and that and that. But if they are to tell you honestly, if they are to be sincere, though, you discover that they actually saw all these problems even before they entered, but because of they wanted to bypass, or maybe the desire was so high, or somebody was blindly in love, then they start crying later on. So we have to be accountable. We have to be accountable. As a man, you cannot be saying you want a good, woman and all that, and you saw the signs from the beginning and you didn't do anything. And for the government, for change that we are looking for, unfortunately, the satanic politicians that have been responsible for all these things we are going through in that country, they have kind of played a very strong game on the people by, using tribalism, religion to kind of shield themselves. So they keep on doing. They are the ones pushing out these tribal rhetorics. They are the ones pushing it out. When it's someone like Wike, tomorrow now, maybe when they will hook him in the neck, he will come out and say he's an Igbo man. But while he's jumping into them with their, whatever, he will say, no, in fact, it's from somewhere else. It doesn't. So it's just the same thing. Even Rotimi Amechi that came out the last time and said he's an Igbo man, the previous time he said he was not. So you see, this is the problem that we are having with these people. Using tribe, not just then when you look at the kind of revolution that these people are afraid of is from the people. It's only the people that can save themselves. But they've also divided the people so much that even in this coming 2027, we'll be here and we'll see how another brand of Emilo come, or another, whether that one now will be Hausa, or maybe, you never know which people will be claiming that they are the one. Because the politicians use these things to keep themselves in power. Because they know the corrupt ones, the corrupt politicians, because they know that they don't have any argument based on their performance. Like Peter Obi is always telling them, let your work speak for you. But unfortunately, Peter Obi is playing reasonable, sensible, proper politics with vampires and with people that don't care about any of that. Is to them the only thing they want is power, and they want to do anything to get it. So unfortunately, the thing for us to come out of all these things, we have to first start educating our people on how they are being used. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that are not, educated, that cannot, but we can spread the message. If you tell your grandparents, if you tell your neighbors or whatever, if you start giving these people, information, then they'll understand some of these things. And to be honest with you, like where we are today, we saw what happened this time from the southwest. And to be honest, majority of Yorubas, we know they are not tribal. Most Yorubas are not tribal people. All of us here, I'm sure most of us have very good Yoruba friends, or some of us are Yorubas. Me, myself, I have a couple of very good. So we can't even say it's a people thing. It's just some satanic politicians, and to be honest, even some of the Southwest people in the media, to be honest. So that is why we are where we are today. So, and unfortunately, until we address the issue of divide and rule, tribalism, and all that, I don't think we are going to go anywhere. Because once we rise up, they will bring a counter protesters that will say, "Oh, you people don't want our son. You don't want ours. You want your own son." So all of a sudden, everybody has forgotten their problem. Then, when they have succeeded, 2 years later, everybody start crying. They being power, all those things. And meanwhile, they forgot that they all took money, they all, pushed the tribal narrative out there, or religious narrative, or whatever. So that was just the thing. And to just round up on that issue of, people, yeah, I support that, people are kind of looking at it, we shouldn't have. Hey, Mr. Ranjawa, this your bell. Once it rings, I think sometimes the thing just disappears from somebody's mind. But it's okay. I think I've made my points clear. Thank you.
He said once he ring, everything that disappear.
Mr. Elvis, this is your recent 2025 rule there.
He go soon change am. He go soon change am. Make it come up for that place where he did first.
I'm just appealing. I'm making a public appeal. Mommy diaspora. Mommy, please, I'm appealing. This new
No make any Madam Rita, no make appeal. Let Nigeria finish what they do. Make it pack in load. Waka come up for that place.
I must make appeal. Mommy, please, I'm making an appeal. I'm making a public appeal. I'm protesting publicly. Mr. Elvis, this is your 2025 rule. And the bell is not fair.
I don't know what you do for inside Nigeria. I never do your this finish.
Make you pack your back.
Please come back, I beg. Let us go back, I beg.
Come back, Prince Charles, I beg.
Please.
Abio, no go use solar. They take disturb us yesterday. Ping, ping, ping every second. Ping, ping, ping.
Lapata, so make you pack the load. So I pack my load come out from my country. Now they tell me. From my own country.
Two country you get. One now where they born you. One now where you dey. So go the second one. I beg, come over that place.
Yo, wahala to ragbiri that you really be for this stuff. Now, Madarita, they say you want to give public appeal. Which can come with public appeal again now, Madarita? Yeah. We they try now. No, see, today
I think Nigeria is changing you, kind of, because you are becoming very harsh now these days.
Madarita, I give you 15 minutes to take talk. You say I dey harsh.
I know why Nigeria will change the law. I know why.
That is first comers. Mr. Elvis, I beg, do what they do, go back so that you can come back to where our level is. I beg. You don't dey too harsh.
Immediately Nigeria was enter that Benin. When he come back to Lagos, he can't not change. Sorry, he just change. You don't know, say na police bring me up. I dey read your voice well. You don't know.
But the constant concern Benin concern where to the top now.
Okay, you go know when you give your final delivery before you come up for that place where you be. Pack your load, your luggage. go London, go stay there. I beg.
I pack my load, go Mr. Jonathan side.
Yes, pack your load. Jonathan will soon acquire their place now. Leave and go to become American now.
Nice. What are you saying, Black Panther?
It's going to be the 54th state of America. Don't worry.
That one, forget that one. See.
We've already concluded the bridge now in Dakota. That leads to your place now.
I beg. That one no go happen.
You people, you have fires. It's Canada that is helping you now.
Don't worry. We'll stop all the money and defense we are giving you people.
That thing make me angry. That statement. You know how angry I have been.
Now that one I make me like Donald Trump from that day when I make that statement. I can't love that, man.
We'll continue that one tomorrow. No worry. Thank you. We'll talk about Donald Trump tomorrow. Before we go change and say Canada, and so Canada do this one, America do this one. Let's call on.
We go acquire land. They no get choice.
Oga Prince Alabo, please, sir, if you're there, your 4 minutes starts now, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. I want to dedicate my 4 minutes by appealing to Nigeria, appealing to Nigerians, appealing to everyone, home and abroad. Please, let's push for electoral reform. Is it the same INEC system, electoral system, you want to hope to go out for 2027? The people of Anambra State, Governor Adeleke, you have people in Osun State. Start to push your PDP House of Rep member and senators. Professor Charles Oludu of Anambra, you have an off-cycle election. If, except any of you want to go to worship the presidency before they will forgive your sin and allow you to win election. That is the only way people can win election in Nigeria. The governor of Bayelsa State has to visit Asurok before APC turned their back on Timip Receiver. Doye came back to succeed. If he had not done that, cooperate with Wike and the Minister of Petroleum, three of them come together, the governor of Bayelsa State would have been somebody that will be crying as an opposition in that state today. Is it the kind of electoral system? Governor Ganduje, former governor of Kaduna State, people call him as alleged Gandola, stood in on those State after the election. He said they are going to Osun State. They are going to Anambra State to take it. And after that, they will go to Oyo State. They want to make the whole of a Southwest APC. They are not saying it because the people want APC. They are saying it because they control the institution. The problem we are having today in Nigeria is because our institutions are weak and they are corrupt. So every governor, every president that comes in, take advantage of that corrupt of going to prison. So they begin to work. That is why you see police, any government that enter, they forget that they are for the people of Nigeria. Everyone will move away and begin to work for politicians because they are corrupt. If they are not corrupt, they will stand and say, no, institution, doubt that the people in the institution are much more than the people. But because the institution are strong, so people respect the institution and the people respect the law. You cannot stay. You are driving on the road of a UK. You are scared because there is something. Even if there is no camera, you are scared. You don't want to get a point. That is institution working. It's stronger than the people. Not that you are seeing any police vehicle standing watching you, but because you are aware, you are always conscious of the institution and the consequences you will get. Because our institution have failed, it's not working. And how do we get this if we don't move for the electoral reform? If you can reach these two governors that the electoral listing, the off-cycle election is going for them, watch well. Any VIPs is telling you they want to take, they will take because the right result, not what you did at the polling unit. That is why we have to move out now for electoral reform. Begin to use your social media handle, any platform you can use. Let's continue this preaching. INEC is demanding for money. It's because they are corrupt. The same election, they spend billions of naira. And BVAS, today, judges are telling us BVAS is not a law. IRF is not a law. It's the one that Mahmoud will sit down and use his pen and said, this is the winner. That is the one they will take. So why did Nigeria spend billions? Why did Nigeria spend billions for those electoral equipment? This is why we need to call for this electoral reform now so that we can have a governor of our own and the president of our own that will be proud to say we elected you. So even if you fail, we should take blame for that. Thank you and God bless everyone.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. Thank you very much, Oga Prince Alabo. God bless you, sir, for joining us today. Okay, Mr. Odowa, if you are there, sir, you have your final submission 4 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Well, our prince, I really concur to your summit, but in only way I did not concur to all. The one we said that the Ganduje talk about, that is the one I did not concur to. Ogun State, Abiosun State, Anambra State, and all. we know the institution or whatever you people were caught, they call it, and the laws or whatever, they are all corrupt because it was not for the people or by the people or with the people. But in other hand, they are not assuring those governors that they are taking the state because of the institution. They are showing those governors because those governors are not working. They are not doing the right thing for the people. Because my Edo people said that there is no one you will put honey, sugar in his mouth and will be spitting it out, or honey in his mouth, he will be spitting it out. No. The truth is, when the people did not work for you, then you will be expecting direction from other service. So let the government work for their people. Just like Enugu State and Abia State now. I believe the next election, nobody will take it from OT, whether they bring entire soldiers of Nigeria to come and conduct the election. The Abia State people will not be so iffy to say they want to put leg here and there. No. As according to what we hear by Enugu, they will not be so so to that extent that another person will be the son to drive them. No. So if the governors on whatever party came on board because of the people and work for the people, there is no presidency or the INEC that will be so hot to that extent in his brain and think other people's brain are not hot like him and said he want to come overall the election. It's only because the people you elect, who, despite the selection, they selected themselves to the office, doesn't work for the people. So let's get that straight. Thank you. But everybody come for unity. That is why I always cradle for unity. I cradle for unity because it is only unity can make you overcome anything, situation. Even though the call police, the soldier, whatever they call, they are brutal, they can throw tear gas, they can do this and that. It is because the people are not united. When the people unite, when they said one police, they come and bring one van. Let everybody that come to protest ground feed that van. Will the driver see road to drive? No. Let everybody go to that police station. Let everybody go to that court that they are charging people to. Will the judge see a place to enter the court? No. My brother, it is because we lack that unity. We lack the determination to do it. So that is why we are suffering and we are afraid. So thank you. God bless you all.
Mr. Odua, please, sorry, just 10 seconds. You know what you've just said now, the last, thank you. Thank you. What you've just said now, your last comment, you see, that is what we're lacking. And we can take what happened or what is still happening in South Korea. When the security forces came to arrest the president with all their might of the state, people stood, thousands of people in front of that property. Whether you will go through us to enter this building, it did not happen. After they stayed there for hours, they went, they couldn't enter. That was so profound. So profound, the power of the people. Even though they have their own political issues there. But we saw how people stood their ground, that with forces, with helicopter flowing all over the place, police, army, they couldn't enter. Are you going to march through them? Are you going to use, how? It's so we have a lot to learn.
Mr. Odua,
Yes,
sorry, let me just respond quickly.
Quick, yeah.
Governor of Ochun State, let me tell you something. It's working. When you are saying OT, only OT will tell you. If he had opportunity, he will know. He knows what is happening. There is a way we see this thing. President Tinubu is a different person entirely in nature. His own way of politics is different thing. Osun State is causing his minister of blue economy waiting. He's coming back to complete his second tenure, not because Adeleke is not working. So when they write the result, not when you are talking to people, you go to do INEC has declared. Yes, 1 day, 2 days, it will end in court and judge will say this person won. That is what APC is doing because the beavers is not bad. So you, the people, they have taken the power from you. There is nothing. If they say they are taking Anambra, Whether if you like, they are taking Abia State. That is why you see the House of Rep Deputy Speaker telling you that Oti will not return this thing. It's not saying because Abia people want to do. It's because of the institution they are controlling. So let's not write those things out.
If all the people rise up, they can't do anything. It's just about the people. Yeah, but if people are scattered and just one voice is here and there, a few voices here and there, obviously they will do whatever
Now,
they want.
what am I calling for my brother? How do we stop? Do we need the people? You know, Nigeria, nobody wants to die, but all of us want to make heaven. We want to see Jesus alive. That is what we believe. We want to see God alive. Nobody wants to make that sacrifice.
Sir,
How do we do to reduce those
sir,
things?
it's very easy.
How do we do to reduce those things? It's
Sir,
electoral
it's
reform.
very easy.
We need to do it.
It's very easy. Work for your people. Let me give you an example. Now people are crying hungry. Did you know that before we have what we call government farm, but do we still have it today? So it's very easy to work for your people. That is why I'm saying, if I'm a governor, I will lock many people in prison because I will make my state the best place for people want to emulate.
Mr. Odua, I've seen a House of Rep member in Rivers State who has done a lot of things, portable water in all the units, done a lot of people wanted, but because Wike does not want.
Let's
Let me
round
tell
up.
you something. They
No
write
round
this
up, I
person
never
off.
talk. Oh.
They write this person off. So the people could not do anything.
Mr.
What do you want to do?
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Black Panther, your comment is final
Yes.
quickly.
Thank you very much. I will not respond to Madam Rita's word because that topic is very big. We need to understand it very well because when I talk tradition, I know what I'm saying. And I want to say here, my Oga Jonathan, I was saying it the other time. I think most of you, I don't think you people heard me, that the Nigerian government, this one is not something that I brought up from my head. Nigerian government have added proceeds from drug into their GDP growth. They've added it into it. And now, I want to speak to the Edo State government. His Excellency, Senator Okpebolo. Am I right? I hope I'm right.
Yes, you're right.
Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, yeah.
Okay. I want to advise him that he should stop this rhetoric. He should put everything down and work for the Edo people. And one of the areas, this is something that he should do if he wants things to go well with the people, because the people is first. And if his name, he wants name to be written on that tabloid, depending on what the court says. If court says proceed, then if he wants his name to be written there, to prove himself, to prove the former government wrong, that we can do it ourselves. I want to give his advice. He should focus on agriculture. He should focus on security. And two paramount thing, he should focus on road and energy, electricity. I was, trying to research on renewable energy. I came across this. India, this same India that we see every day, they've learned a lot, and they've learned from a lot of things. They went out, the people, the diaspora, they went back and developed they're developing their country. India is building the world largest renewable energy farm. And this renewable energy farm is big, is 726 square kilometer. Big, massive. Is bigger than Singapore. And what did they do? They use solar panel and the wind stuff. And
they've already completed the first phase, and the second phase is going to be completed in March next year, 2026. And this renewable energy they built is going to feed 18 million homes in India. 18 million homes. And Edo State is not even up to. And it's not something that you start looking for money, hectare scatter. Edo State has the money to do this. Edo State can have a renewable energy farm that will power the entire Edo State system. And it's not going to cost much as what they are budgeting for other, like all these gas and turbine, all those things, where the government will now start telling you that gas is not available. No, let us tap the resources, the mother nature resources, the sun, the wind. You can do this within 8 months. And I'm speaking to His Excellency. If you do this, Edo State will pick up, and you will see your GDPA increase like never before. If you want this to be done, you have to follow, or you send your mercenary to visit the place in India. I think it's in Kavda. It's in Kavda. They call it Kavda solar plant. It's right in India, the largest in the world. It's about 3 kilowatt, 30 kilowatt, 30,000 or 30 kilowatt. I came across it and I have to pass it down to the Edo State government. Let us stop this gas turbine. Let us use and tap the resources that Mother Nature has given us. Thank you very much, Madam. Mr. Naija Watch, and get ready to pack your load and go back to your base. Thank you.
Mother Nature has given us gas now. Black Panther. We have gas.
Okay. Now do
the government will stop it. You know how they do their bureaucracy.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. We come to the end of this broadcast. Almost 4 hours today. I never proposed that, but that's fine. Thank you very much, Madam Rita. I appreciate you and your time with us here. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you, Madam Achata Gojomi, for your time with us earlier on. Thank you, guys, CBD, for coming in today. Prince Alabo, God bless you, sir. I appreciate you. Black Panther, my brother. Thank you, Mr. Odowa. Thank you, my wonderful people. I appreciate you all. Those of you that called in earlier on, thank you so much, every one of you. Man, the love of God is my strength, and many others. Thank you so much. Now, God bless you now. Thank you, my wonderful people. I got a super chat from Didi Anthony earlier on. Now, God bless you. I'm very, very grateful. Thank you very much, everyone, right there on the comment section. Started with Mother of all Mommy Diaspora. Thank you very much, Mommy, for all that you do, for being there with us all the time. I appreciate you always. Thank you very much, Stella Iman Saredo, Mr. Johnson Emmanuel. Thank you, Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik, we can see right there in the comment section. Love Manduka. Thank you, Goldenak Record. Thank you, my people. Peggy Modi. Thank you. Now, God bless you, now, my people. Thank you, Clifford Zebo. Thank you, James Omen. Can see you as well. Ajio Deborah, once again. God bless you all. Yes, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Madam Stella Masarado, once again, God bless you all. I appreciate every one of you. I'm gonna go bless you now. Joe Taho, thank you. Joe Taho is asking for more time. Don't worry, we'll give more time tomorrow. We don't close today. Tomorrow we'll continue from there. I appreciate every one of you, my people. My people, allow us to end the show right now. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow, 7 p.m. Nigerian time, so that we can continue from where we stop. Guys, remember to press on the like button before you go. Help us to share. For those of you coming across the platform for the first time, yes, we are here calling out our government to do the right thing. As you and I know that Nigeria is not working, we should stop deceiving ourselves. 2027 is around the corner. We still have Mahmoud Yakubu, who's going to conduct that general election. What is your take on that? That is part of the things we're talking about here, but we'd like to hear from you as well. My people, have a good night. Bye for now.